So, do you want to be a mage or a fighter? I can show you how to be a shield.
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to today's stream. Today we are playing Argo 37, which means there is absolutely nothing to worry about. Not a damn thing. Here are my social links. Check them out. We've got Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Discord for the community, YouTube to catch up, and Twitter. Send me a DM and I'll get you into one of our many Christmas games. We're playing 40 games in 13 days. So send me a DM, I'll get you in one. Next up, we also have a Patreon. We have some free stuff and some exclusive stuff. Go and check that out. We also have merchandise. You can get our logo slapped on books, t-shirts, hoodies, wall hangings, tapestries, clocks, mugs, tights, mini skirts, you name it. You can get our logo anywhere these days. Interesting point, the tights, the logo's on the inner thigh. So if you ever find yourself exposing your inner thigh a lot and feel like this could be a good advertising space... we have two...
Not buy those leggings. Scrap.
I'm gonna get some of them leggings, Alice. We have two sponsors. One is Bird and the Storm Publishing. They are t-shirts and mugs. If you follow the mugs link, you might also find hoodies over there as well. It's gonna be great. And also we have Mageham Press, who is our more prevalent sponsor today, as we are playing their game. The game is Dark Matter. It's a 5e expansion set in space. If that sounds like it floats your boat, go and check out those links right now. The Dark Matter Alpha book just released last Thursday, and it is currently available in their store. I think it's retailing for around $30, and we may be giving away donkeys or aliens donkeys. We may be giving away one as well at some point. Tweets! Every 10 retweets we get a Wild Magic Surge. So please check that out as well. That should be the right tweet now. I'll update the number shortly. And also, lastly, most of our music is taken from Tabletop Music or in Computech on the Creative Commons license. Please go and check them out and support them also. Alice!
Right, okay. I'm going to give a brief catch-up of what happened last week, and then we will go around, introduce our characters, who we are, obviously, as well. So, last week some crazy things happened. They finally escaped the altar Argo 37, the giant Argo 37, and on the way back through all this chaos, they had a moment of calm until on the screens once more the sort of ghostly figure of an astronaut appeared on the screens, on the cameras, and as the older Telemachus was fixing some bits in the lab, everyone couldn't get to her in time as this astronaut appeared behind her and shot her dead before disappearing. Blister, who was in a towel as he ran out the shower, and Alara, they all ran to the older Telemachus in the lab, but it was too late. When they asked who did this to her, she could do nothing but point a finger towards Blister. So, other than that, I'm just going to give V a second because it looks like we're having some problems there. So we will start with Ed. Hello.
Hello. I will play N01E8, also known as Thorn. He's a Vic that has been... he was a technician for a bigger ship sometime before, but he got in an accident, so his brain, or whatever you want to call it, got fried. So he realized he was meant for greater things, more or less, and stole a ship and broke free, simply, and joined a gang of swords. There he learned to become a gunslinger. And now I guess he's on his mission to populate a new world.
Awesome, thank you. We have two V's. And Craig, welcome.
Hi, yeah, I'm Craig. I'm currently in Brexit Torn UK. Coming to you to play a Vect as well as Thorn. So basically a sentient robot, I guess. Unit Delta. He's a commercial pilot, so he wasn't given a fancy name or designation. It was just, you're the fourth one, Delta will do. And he doesn't really have many special abilities. I've taken the Sorcerer class from the Dark Matter material, which is choice. And he has nanites inside his body that help him to heal himself, and if he survives the higher levels, other people and things. So it's nice and basic. Just here to fly things and keep people safe. That's basically his job, and he'll try and stick to that as much as possible.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to give V a bit more time, just a second to get sorted, and we'll hop over to Adam. Scrap, Blister, a name.
Hi everyone. Hi.
What's the name?
I am currently definitely 100%. Everything's fine. There are no fires burning back here. Blister. Hello. I'm in a towel. I've just been accused of murder. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now.
Okay, and we will now hop over, last but not least, Lieutenant Ilara.
So sorry about that. It's Thanksgiving in America, which means everyone is using their internet right now. So I think we have it tweaked a little bit. But anyways, I am B. I have the channel on YouTube called The Crafting Muse, where you can find out how to make terrain and paint minis and everything like that. You can also find me on on Twitter, on Instagram, as well as Facebook. And I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Ilara. And for those of you who've been watching the show, you know full well who she is, but she is a half-orc barbarian of the Dreadnought Path.
Awesome, thank you. So we are going to hop into this after the devastating things that happened last week. The older Telemachus has been buried at space, effectively, and there has been a ceremony held, and you guys are drifting through space again once more. What is Blister doing?
So a little bit of time's passed.
Yes, about maybe 4 or 5 days.
Blister has been being extra helpful. He's been trying to cook for everyone. He's been you know, trying to help out Telemachus rather than just doing his own thing, making himself available to Ilara, listening to what she says. He's clearly a little, you know, his gruntlement is not succinct right now. He's a little disgruntled.
And what about Lieutenant Ilara? What is Ilara doing?
I think at this point, after everything that had happened, I'm probably worried about little Telemachus as well as Blister. So chances are there's going to be a lot of movie watching with Telemachus and talking with her, and then once she's in bed, Blister and Ilara kind of talking over everything that had happened with the bigger ship, and then the thing coming back on again to our own ship and what had happened at the end of last week.
So Telemachus is not, she didn't cry. She didn't have a breakdown sort of thing. If anything, she's just more confused. These things keep happening. I don't think it was the real me because I'm here. So she's almost dismissing it more than anything. And she will go about her day, maybe sort of, she'll allow Blister to help out, might take some things off him in the kitchen just because it's chaotic enough with the Wizmos. As the Wizmos are running about the ship doing whatever it is. They're taking chunks out of things, they're shredding books if they can find them, they're just having the time of their life as they sort of run around. But yeah, you find yourself called to the bridge by Argo.
All of us.
Argo comes down on the screen, all of us. And Telemachus is already at the bridge. And he calls it, he's like, hi, yeah, so there's something on the radar, don't panic, it's not the ship, it's fine, would have told you if it was that, but I did wake up 2 other people from the cryo freeze, just in case, because, you know, why not, like, more the merrier, like, and he's sort of like quite drowsy about it, not really thinking. And in the cryo chamber area, you can see both of you, Thorn and Unit, you hear as your lids open and you sit up. You both feel a bit like, whoa, like out of it. You've been out for a long time, probably years.
Right.
As you sit upright.
So like a normal nap?
Yeah, like a nap.
Just cold.
Yeah, a chilly nap. And you can both sit up and you find yourself in this room and you can see other people in Cryo Freeze sleeping peacefully.
Okay.
And
we
a screen
see each
pops
other?
up. You can see
Oh,
each other. You both effectively sat upright and you can look at each other.
Okay.
And the screen
Do
drops
we-
down.
Will we know each other already? Will we recognize each other?
You might recognize each other. This is quite a large ship. There's lots of people on it. You wouldn't necessarily know each other personally.
Yeah.
But if anything, you two probably would have exchanged shifts. Like you might have seen each other passing as you went.
Okay. I'll just sit bolt upright, and as Unit Delta is a pilot and is pretty obsessed, I'll kind of sit bolt upright, Nosferatu style, as I'm a robot, and yeah, exactly, yeah, and just say, "Are we on course?"
Yeah, I am as you awaken as you are. I know nothing.
I just kind of realize you're not going to know. You've just woken up as well. Obviously, apologies. There's no one here to greet us. Should we?
Well, it might be due to maintenance. We are here.
I aim to be useful. So, do we have lockers underneath our thingies? Don't we?
There's lockers all the way along the walls.
Okay.
Which you will each have a designated one with your name on. And a screen also pops down, and which you will recognize as Argo. It's just a face in a screen. And he's like, "Good morning. I think afternoon. I don't know. I guess it's morning for you. Yeah, there's something that's popped up on the screen. If you could come check it out, it'd be great. I mean, there's others awake, but you know."
Is it an emergency, Argo?
I guess it could be. I don't know. We haven't got close enough yet.
Where is this screen?
It's literally popped down from the ceiling in front of you
it was
both.
on our screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder where that screen is. Not here.
It's literally a screen that's popped down from the ceiling, and it's just in front of you, and it can move about. Like it can move about freely.
But you said it was a problem. You wanted us to get to a screen, didn't you?
You can come to the bridge if you want. I mean,
That sounds like a good idea.
we found something on the scanners, basically, and
Okay, we'll be there as quickly as possible.
Just let me wake up, and I shall be right there.
okay, I'll tell them you're coming. And I was like, he disappears back up into the ceiling.
Okay.
And do you guys make your way to the bridge? Yeah.
I'll grab my stuff from the locker first, just in case, just for the sake of decency. Even though we don't have anything, you know. Unit Delta does wear a pilot's jacket because it makes him feel more human. Doesn't really need it. He's not wearing pants.
Just to fit in.
There's no trousers, but you know, a bit of a Donald Duck thing. But he just throws his jacket on because it makes him feel more like a pilot. Do you think we should rush or?
Well, that wouldn't hurt, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So we'll post haste.
As you head to the bridge, Blister and Alara, you see Thorn and Unit coming down the hallway at quite a pace. And Argo has already popped back down for Blister and Alara, like, here they come.
Are they from this ship? These ones? Or are these from the scanner? That was bloody quick.
That's a very good question.
But, well, would you like to roll a perception, either of you, to see if you know these people?
Probably not a bad idea, considering.
Yeah. After the last week.
You know, after the duplicates, triplicates, duplicates, couldn't hurt. All right, perception. There we go.
Could I try a history instead?
Yeah, you can try history.
Doesn't make any difference, but.
Oh, nat 20. Okay.
Ah, no, hang on a minute. Hang on. I remember that these two are right next to my beer fridge. I mean, the cryo chamber for the beer.
You're not doing that anymore, right?
No, I'm not doing that anymore.
Thank you.
So they're okay? As Telemachus sort of looks in their direction as they come running in.
Yep. They seem fine to me.
Aye, so long as their bodies haven't been taken over by nanobots that are trying to kill us again, or they're not clones from another time zone where they're trying to, you know, kill us again, or so long
No,
as...
you should be more positive. Give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you're right, Telemachus. Sorry, been a bit paranoid a wee bit recently. I'll try and lighten up a little bit.
It's okay.
And she just sort of shrugs and goes back to the seat and bringing up all the info that Argo has found. So
I'm gonna look at Blister and just kind of like, she okay?
Who, Telemachus?
Yes, she seems a little perky considering everything we've just gone through.
Oh god, you don't think she's been swapped out for one of the other reality Telemachuses, do you?
Oh dear God, I hope not. Let's just keep an eye on her, make sure she's doing all right. Who knows? Maybe she's processing, but still, it's a little.
I gotta say, I wasn't expecting to have to try and keep track of which reality everyone's from during all of this. I mean, I wasn't expecting any of all of this.
Well, that pretty much sums it up then, doesn't it? Yes.
Hello, robots!
and you two
Hello,
enter-
human being.
Hello, biological organisms.
Hello, meatbag.
They're actually more water than meat. It's quite interesting. Never mind. So
Details.
later. Are we on course? Are we in trouble?
Have you been waking up for a rare reason?
Well, when you say on course...
Was there really anything specifically said? I mean, we were looking for, you know, a new possible place to live, and we've been trying.
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully?
Oh, I wouldn't say unsuccessfully. I'd say unpredictably is probably a better use
That
of a word.
sounds kind of bad. Ominous, even.
That is rather ominous. You're absolutely right, Thorn, yes.
Well, it hasn't been cupcakes and sunshine. We can definitely phrase it that way, but we've hit a few road bumps.
Have there ever been sunshine in cupcakes? Can there be sunshine
Well-
in cupcakes? Is that an option?
Maybe
I'm
later
very
if we
curious
get
of
things
these
squared
cupcakes.
away. If we can get things squared away, I'm sure that Telemachus and I could probably make some cupcakes.
Well, I don't need food, so don't bother with that.
Yes, I'm sure it'd be lovely. We don't actually eat, but
Well, we don't need to eat. We can eat.
yeah, we can try.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've had another one who's also drunk what he's made alcohol-wise and lived to tell the tale. But yes, no, we've had a few interesting interactions. There have been issues in terms of what we thought were alternate realities are actually clones. So hence our suspicions and our trying to make sure that everyone is who they say they are at this time.
Well, I can guarantee you I'm a totally unique unit.
Alright, you are at the minute, but let me tell you, right, if you go to a strange planet and everyone starts treating you like a king, don't pee anywhere. That must be how they got my DNA.
Well, I don't do that either, so I should be fine.
I think we'll both be fine, yes. No peeing.
And Telemachus sort of looks, so I said,
Did you want to see what Argo had?
just interrupting this weird conversation.
Oh yes, the
That's a
message.
brilliant idea. Yes, please.
Like, she
Argo,
reaches
show
up and
the
pulls
message.
the screen down. Argo's there like, hi. Yes, it's not a ship, actually. It's, well, I'll show you. And it, the whole, basically, screen at the front lights up. And you see this flat disc, this very green disc with a bubble over the top of it, almost like a big glass dome, and a huge building at the center of it. So, I mean, I've scanned it. There's people there. But it seems to be some sort of hospital.
Okay. Have you seen anything like that before?
Well, I haven't seen one.
Do you remember, Laura, there was that planet that was sort of like a hospital planet a while back?
Right, where you were confusing it for Tintinitis.
Yeah, that's the one.
Maybe this is where they all went, considering it was abandoned.
Could be.
Maybe this might be their ship. I mean, considering the planet itself was fully metal, it wouldn't surprise me if they've somehow figured out
It was pretty
Yes.
metal, that planet.
Not that kind of metal.
Oh, there's a lot of greenery on this one. Like it's as if Argo cranes his neck to look at the image himself. To be like, yeah, it's a hospital. I'm not sensing any armies, any ships, like destructive stuff. Like, and he just starts listing off things. Yeah, and from the history and everything, it looks like they've been pretty stable.
I mean, we could go
Are
on...
we in need of a medical facility?
Not necessarily, but we might be in need of some human contact that's not trying to kill us recently.
That would be nice.
A change of pace, you see.
Aye, that'd be great.
And Telemachus is like, oh, are we gonna go?
It's up to Alara.
Gonna make me. Would you want to go?
Well, if it's nice people. I mean, they run a hospital. They've got to be nice.
Well, one would hope. Yes, that's definitely a good point.
If
Perhaps-
you've all been in space quite some time, you might want to rest. I know biological organisms are often affected by such things, so perhaps a little walk around. You said there was greenery. Grass is always good, so perhaps you should take
Aye.
some.
I've never seen grass properly apart from that weird planet.
Well, the funny thing about grass, Telemachus, is that it's always greener when you get to the planet.
That's not exactly how that works,
Using
but
that-
it might be worth going and seeing if maybe they've encountered similar situations as we have recently.
Well, I'm all for an adventure.
And I'd like to see a tree properly. I didn't like the ones in Aberdeen.
That's a fair request. I think with something we might be able to do for you.
Okay.
And Argo rolls like his head over. It's like, so are we going there, or am I moving past? What are we doing?
But we're gonna go.
Okay. And you hear like a couple of bleeps, and his eyes sort of flicker. He's like, okay, we're on course. Just fun fact, if you could please keep the Wizmos out of the lighting section down on the lower decks. They've been playing about with some of the wires. That's why we've been in and out a lot of the time. And literally, as you do that, you see the lights start to flicker.
Oh, that reminds me, we might need to grab a new toothbrush while we're down there. I'm sorry, Alara, I've been borrowing yours since they've, you know, the Wizmos, they black holed mine.
So
Okay.
Wizmos are like
That's fine.
scutters, I'm guessing?
Sorry?
No, Wizmos kind of scutters.
As you say this, as Ballista goes, these Wizmos, these weird and wonderful little, all robots in different shapes and sizes and colors, some with long arms, some hovering, some on wheels, and they come tearing in through this room. They pay no mind that you're in the way. They will clash and clank against you. One of them will probably, if you've got something sort of hanging off you, whether it's a piece of equipment or like a wire, one of them will start to pull at it.
So it's just like when my jacket's kind of flapping around.
Yeah,
It's
like some of them are hanging off it, trying to break it, basically. They are destructive little beings.
Hey, they're basically like little robotic agents of chaos. You know, they're quite fun. But yeah, sorry about that, Lara. You know, I hope it's alright.
At this point, there are more important things to worry about.
Oh, that's a lot of progress. Both of us.
For both of us, yes. Which is why I'm not going to complain.
As Argo takes you closer down to this strange domed place, and there are lots of almost like domed tunnels where the dome comes out, and it's still glass. You can see everything. And Argo comes up and docks. And as they dock out the window, you can see someone stood in a white lab coat waiting there.
Hello! You're right!
You're on the inside.
Magic Mike.
Oh no!
Hello, hospital place. All right.
You see this figure in the tube jump out of their skin and then almost fall over as you shout this, and they start looking around and straighten themselves up a little bit again, and head over to one of the doors on the side of your ship, and literally just knocks, like a clanging knock.
Should we all head on out in?
Come on.
Sounds like a plan.
Straighten my jacket. You know.
I'm gonna like make sure I have Telemachus's hand as we start to head out.
Yeah, Telemachus will hold onto your hand. She's sort of trying to pull you because she wants to see these things. And you guys can head to the door through one of the airlock chambers and open. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Welcome to St. Christopher's. Are any of you injured? Anything we can help you with?
Hello. We're fine. No injuries, but we did see your lovely facility and thought we'd stop for a little bit, if that's all right.
Of course, we are a place of rest, not just healing. I am Jennifer, by the way. Call me Jennifer. I am one of the nurses here. And oh, hello! And she looks down at Telemachus, who sort of hides briefly behind you. And then you'll hear her scream as the Wizmos tear past all of you into this like dome, and she's like,
Oh yeah,
"Cocky?"
I forgot about them. They might be a problem. Tell me, have you got any sensitive equipment on this hospital place?
In the building, yes. Like life support, do you mean?
Life support.
Like that sort of thing. He's gonna turn around. He's gonna try and make it look like he's trying to hide it, but at the same time he's using his magic mic, so anyone with a comms interface will hear him as he's like, "We're supposed to get back here right now."
You see, like there's some people wandering about in this garden. They look like there's some people in wheelchairs that they're pushing around. Everyone jumps out of their skin, like they all sort of freeze for a second and look towards you. And you can see the Wizmos have climbed up on someone and they freeze because they're like pulling the hair and they're like pulling the jacket and stuff like that. And they slowly put it down and return over to Blister. And they look a bit sort of like shameful at him.
Right now, on this trip, you stay behind me, alright? Don't go messing with anything, you could kill people.
You hear like a blip, blip as they sort of whiz round, and some of them just go into your jacket.
Hey, that's better.
Well, if you're just looking for rest, if you would like to follow me, how did you hear about Wonderful St. Christopher's?
It wasn't so much as heard as seen.
Oh.
So if you have any information to share, we greatly appreciate it if you could tell us more about your lovely St. Christopher's.
Yes, we are a traveling hospital, effectively. People from all over the place come here for the best care ever. You can stay as long as you want or as short a time you want. We specialize in developing cures.
Cures, as in for the common cold type of thing, or all ailments?
Cold, all ailments, really. There's just a wide range of, things. We have agents that go out over the universe and they find these diseases, and we isolate them here, and then we try and find a cure for them.
That sounds perfectly safe. I say out of character.
Yeah.
You haven't happened to have an influx of people arriving, have you?
No. Actually, you're the first ones in about 3 months.
Oh, well, lucky for us then.
We drift, so we're quite difficult to find, which I understand is a pain, but it also helps us with our travel. If you'd like to walk this way, and she walks you through, you're walking down, it looks so artificial, but it is a pathway. It's grass, there's trees, there's people sat under these trees. Everyone is wearing like white, like gowns and things, and people are laughing and smiling, or they're out on a walk, or they're heading back into the hospital. And you head up towards this huge white building. St. Christopher's.
Oi.
Fire and healing, or are we just taking a look around?
I mean, you are very welcome to use the recovery pods, or you can walk around if you want. We're always looking for people to contribute to this sort of thing.
You wouldn't by any chance happen to have an area with some nice trees, as odd as that might sound, that we could explore?
Yes, inside or outside.
Outside would be lovely.
Yes, if you just go around that corner there, you should see one of our orchards.
I'm going to look down at Telemachus. Would you like to see some fruit trees, maybe?
And Telemachus,
Yeah, I've never seen a fruit tree before.
Then I think let's go take a little walk in that direction.
I'll tell you what. I'll come with you to these fruit trees, though I'm a bit No, I'm not concerned. I've had enough of being concerned. I'm sure your facility is perfectly safe, right? Let's just go on.
yeah, and you guys can all walk around the corner, and you do see this orchard. There's some people on ladders climbing up these trees to pick these. It's a wide range fruit. There's apples, there's oranges, there's lemons, there's other strange fruits you've never even seen before. Lots of bright colors. Some of them shimmer as the sun effectively hits them.
Can we eat these?
Stick to the ones we know to be safe.
Okay.
And she'll sort of wander over to one of the apple trees, and there's someone up there, like with a basket, picking these apples, who hands down and reaches and passes an apple to Telemachus with a smile on their face.
Thank you. They don't talk much here.
And she just bites, and you hear this crunch of an apple. And it's like,
It's really good. Like, really good.
Like, too good.
No, just really good.
Oh, right. Okay. We're at
I'm
10
just
retweets, Alice.
oh, okay. I'm gonna give each of you a number. So Blister 1, Unit 2, Laura 3, and Thorn 4. I'm gonna roll and see who gets a wild magic surge. 3.
Ah!
So Alara.
All right, what are we at now with the roll?
614.
Okay. See if I remember that whole code. Nope. Is it the backslash before?
Yep,
Yes.
backslash before one. I'll put the code too.
615, you said?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. No?
There you go. It's in Zoom chat.
Oh, thank you.
One D, I think.
You need a little bit more D.
Oh, a little bit more D. That's what I forgot.
There we go.
I haven't done this in ages. I haven't gotten one of
I'll
these.
say you haven't
in
had
a
a
while.
magic surge in so long.
I know. That's why it's like, oh, there we go. Now we're on. There we go. Oh God, what's gonna happen?
Oh, that's not one of mine either. Like,
High up, please, not Alice.
and Telemachus, as Telemachus wanders around, you all look around. This building has loads and loads of windows, and it sort of reaches all the way up to the top of this glass dome.
I'm just going to take Thorn to one side and just say, do you think we should eat something? It might make them feel a little more relaxed. Humans tend to like it when you eat things, I've noticed, or sleep, but I don't really want to pretend to sleep.
Well, sleep might be a bad option at the moment.
Yes. We have just woken up, after all.
Exactly.
You like try an apple, maybe?
Well, I haven't had an apple. I can try an apple.
Sure, why not? And I'll kind of gesture to whoever was up the tree and just say, pardon me, can we take 2 apples, please? As if I'm just buying something from a shop.
Yes, no problem. And she sort of like passes down these 2 apples.
Thank you so much, much obliged. And I just toss one to Thorn and then kind of look at it and wait for him to eat his.
Thank you, and I'll take a big bite.
Yeah, these just like... In fact, can you roll a strength, please, Thorn?
I will do it simply and do that.
Okay, you don't smash this apple in your hand. You grip it quite lightly and you just take a bite. And you can't taste anything, but you can hear the crunch.
That's one crunchy apple.
Mm.
Is it good?
I don't know. First apple.
I don't know either.
Best apple I ever had.
That's actually a very good point, and I'll just take a bite of mine as well.
You roll a strength for me, please.
Oh man, not my strong point.
Probably a good
That's a 17.
Okay, as you do this, you can your hands start to sink into this apple as you don't quite understand how tightly you need to grip this, and you can take a bite, but you realize
the apple is soft. You have to be gentle.
Am I doing it right? Is this how it? No,
No. You should just lightly, not squeeze it.
I think I've broken it.
It's like a grenade.
I'll just kind of drop it, and then just wipe my.
That works too.
Lara,
Roger.
Telemachus, have you seen these two robots? Have you seen what they're doing back there?
They're trying to eat apples.
I don't know what they're trying to do. I didn't think robots could eat, could they? I didn't think that Vect could eat.
Well, they can't, but they do go through the motions sometimes.
Aye,
Maybe
but
they're just
that one
trying it out.
That one just crushed the apple.
Well, I mean, if they've never done it before, it's awkward, I suppose.
All I'm saying is, let's not go holding hands with them anytime soon.
Can
My
I
apple is
roll
enough.
to see if I can overhear them talking about it?
If you roll a perception for me, I'll see if you can hear them.
Not great. That is a 9.
Yeah, you don't really hear anything. You can hear them sort of talking, and Thorn, you can't quite make out what they're saying, but you know they're talking.
My apple is perfectly fine, thank you.
I've seen people lick their fingers after they've eaten something. I don't have a tongue.
That's
though.
disgusting.
It's like talk completely inanely about it. Gross.
Lara, it's getting worse.
Still looks up, looking over at the Vect,
I think at this point, Laura's probably doing exactly what I'm doing, just trying. Maybe we should go and give them a little advice on how best to do this.
Hey, be
What would
careful
be
though, Telemachus. I know you like to play with things, but I've got a feeling they're malfunctioning. So who knows what they might do. Just take it easy with them, that's all.
Excuse me, Mr. Unit, Mr. Thorn, sir.
Yes.
You don't need to lick your fingers, you don't need to eat them. I don't know if you know that, but that's fine if you do. Free choice and all.
Everyone else seemed to be doing it. We were just trying to fit in.
Oh, okay, but you don't have to fit in. It's quite nice that you're your own thing,
Okay.
Whatever you say, you little child.
I'm not
I'm
that
holding the
little.
thumbs up a little bit too long.
Yeah.
So you can put that down now.
Okay, she feels really awkward, and then Jennifer comes back over. It's like, "Hello, everything okay around here?"
Yes, it's lovely. Thank you for showing or directing us here. It was quite an experience for many.
One of my directors said, if you would like, I can offer you a tour of the hospital to show you what we're doing. He's looking for sponsors. It's fine. You don't have to. I'm just saying, if you would like a tour and to see, yeah.
But I'm always curious to learn things, so I'm game.
Okay, this is fantastic. If you would like to follow me, and a door, it's like it appears at the side of the building you're in and just slides off. In here. And she disappears.
And I follow suit.
I'll follow in.
I'd like to say this door suddenly appearing surprises me, but considering everything else,
It's state of the art.
yep.
It's definitely some kind of art.
Lara, as you walk into this room, thank you for the wild magic search. Could you make a dexterity save, please? Because these floors have just been waxed.
These don't go well for me. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can I try and catch her?
Yes, you can. If you roll an athletics roll.
I was gonna say he has to do something too. Oh God. Wait. Oh,
Okay,
no.
it's not great. So, Alara, you as soon as your foot steps on this floor, it's like you've been walking on just rough surfaces for a long time, it's like your foot just goes. Now, Blister, you reach out to catch her, but on a 9, she sort of takes you down with her, and Telemachus has just stood there looking at both of you as you're sort of crumpled in like this ball on the floor. So,
Are you alright?
Alara, this is hardly the time.
Oh,
Or the
you're tired.
place.
Do you need to sleep?
It's
Sorry, I
fine
was.
to worry about. We're in a hospital after all.
We're fine. We're perfectly fine. I just misstepped walking in.
Telemachus is trying to help you up. She's not really like any use in it, but she's trying to pull you up.
And Blister will extricate himself and also try and stand.
Do you
And
require assistance?
are you okay? Everything all right? You're all good? Yeah.
My boots just aren't used to a civilized surface.
Right. Okay. Well.
I'm helping them up.
Yeah. Okay. And as you all get up and you sort of have a chance to look around you, you see this fully white room. Everything is white, and there's lots of people walking around, talking. A lot in some white lab coats. You can see lots of corridors with many, many doors all off to the side. And a huge circular desk in the middle.
Alright.
An empty desk or is someone by it?
Like there's a, you can see a robot sort of stood in between it, like in the center of this huge round desk.
So, Jennifer, what's the purpose of the desk in the middle here? Is this sort of like a hub?
Visitors. They just come in, they log their details, they can find out where they're from, or where their relatives are, and this wonderful thing will tell them where it is.
So it's the information desk.
Yes, I guess so, yes.
Do you need us to sign in or anything like that?
No, but if you could put these on, and she sort of reaches behind the desk as much as the robot's trying to like help. She's like, no, it's fine. She pulls out these tags and starts putting them around you, just so we know you're not like a patient.
Or phone ring.
I try not to be patient.
Different patient.
What?
Different
And she sort
patient.
of looks like, okay. Right. Well, if you follow me, this is the entrance hall. I'm sure you can guess that. And you see all manner of species walking in and out of this building. This isn't just humans. There are lots of weird and wonderful things walking in and out of this. You can see almost like bird-like people. And Alara and Blister, you'll recognize one of the single entities. It's almost like a globule that's walking around. It's got a little jacket on, but it is sort of sliding its way out of. There's a couple of them, sort of some different colors, as they sort of seem. You think they're having a conversation. They're making a noise at each other. You can assume they're having a conversation. And this is the main hall. Down here we have some of our patients and different rooms. And she sort of, if you walk past them, you can look in and you can see lots of beds with people in them. There's lots of different tubes with lots of different colors. And huge windows opening up onto this beautiful sort of greenery on the outside. And so, these are our labs where we, we get to try out some things. We work on some really progressive things. We won't let you in there, I'm afraid, at the moment. We are currently bringing in some new viruses from some of our transporters and our collectors. So I will refrain from letting you in that room if that's okay. But I'm sure there's another lab around here that I can show you. And as you walk past this lab, the door opens and closes and someone leaves it and walks off behind you.
Hey, okay, I'm sure they're fine. Jennifer,
Yes.
you did me a massive favour. We came to relax and stuff. Whenever you talk about the viruses and the cures and stuff that you're working on, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Why don't we, just for all intensive purposes, pretend that you don't do that, because it just freaks me out.
Oh, sorry. It's our thing. It's our progressive thing. It's why we called ourselves St. Christopher's. So I will refrain from
So what is that
Scary.
name referring to?
St. Christopher's, the saint, the one that carried the small boy that was actually God on his shoulders, the same way that we look to carry humanity on our shoulders and keep them going.
Hey, well, I don't think we're in any position to be sponsoring here. So, we're definitely here just for rest, and,
I can take you down to the rest tubes.
all I'm saying is, we're probably not going to be providing a sponsorship as such. I think that's fair to say, don't you think, Alara?
Yes, we're definitely not in a position to do sponsorship and
Definitely more customer relationship,
She sort of like leans in and goes, I know that. I'm doing this because I've been told to. It's fine. I'll take you over to the rest pods. It's just a thing I gotta do.
That's
all right. Let's.
Also weird.
We do it with most people that come in here.
Okay.
It does seem a little odd that you show people where your labs are.
Well, they're not.
I look at the door and I'm like,
yeah, so they're not allowed in. It's only the collectors and the people working on it that are allowed in. And I'm not even allowed in there.
that's probably for the best anyway.
Of course. And she sort of continues walking down one of these corridors and opens a large door, and you can see huge white pods. These are huge. And so these are the rest pods. I can either leave you to it. All you need to do, and she sort of lifts one of the pods up. It's got this gel in it, and you can see this blue gel. So you won't be, you can get in there fully clothed. Everything's fine. It won't make you damp or anything like that. And it basically gives you a rejuvenating rest for a smaller amount of time. It's like sleeping for 2 days, but only being in there for 10 minutes.
I've been there, done that recently. I'm quite fine, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. No problem at all.
Just spent an extended period asleep. I think I'm all right. But thank you for the offer. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to click line too. I woke up this morning for the same sleep as with Delta, so.
Yeah, no, I was more hoping for I don't know, a recreational area, perhaps somewhere there's other kids and things where we can not necessarily rest, but relax rest. Maybe find some like-minded individuals and.
I can take you to one of the rooms like that. It's more like a cafeteria mixed with some more relaxation areas if you would like to go there.
Yeah.
That's probably more our speed.
Oh, yeah, follow me. And she leaves through a door in that room and opens up into, it's almost like a conservatory. So it's an outdoor bit, but under undercover of this greenery. And you can see benches, and there's a big sort of kitchen with lots of plants hanging from the ceiling. There's a fair few kids running around and laughing and playing, and some what you can assume either parents or just other adults that are chatting and talking with each other. They're eating, they're drinking. And Jennifer's like, I can leave you here for a bit if you want, and you let me know when you want to leave or anything like that. Just so we can check out. She sort of holds up the tags that you're wearing.
That would be great. Give us about an hour or so.
Okay. Enjoy. And she disappears back out the door. And Telemachus looks up at you and says, can I go play, please?
Go play. Keep your ear out, though.
Okay. And she just tears off towards this other group of kids and starts to play with them.
Is there anywhere to get something to eat and drink?
Yeah, there's this kitchen that's built in. It looks like there's someone serving food there. Like I said, there's lots of greenery sort of hanging from they've tried to make it look almost as natural as possible.
Okay. Can I go grab a drink and then just stand there with it?
Yeah, you walk up and the person who is serving looks at you.
What is with you in drinks and food? What's wrong with you? Did your programming malfunction?
I don't want to just stand here with my arms by my side looking like I'm not doing anything when everyone's resting and eating and drinking, which I don't really need to do. If I stand with a drink, have you never seen humanoids stand at parties with a drink? And they're not really drinking it, they're just holding it.
I haven't been to many parties, my man.
Are you arguing this in front of the bar where the guy is waiting?
Yeah. Just...
He's like, would you like a drink? He looks slightly nervous there, but...
to be technical, I would like a drink to hold
You just want a cup?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Right, and this
Thank
person
you.
doesn't take their eyes off you, but reaches over, and he looks at a glass, and then he puts it back. And after hearing your conversation, picks up a red plastic cup and hands it to you.
Good call. Good call. Okay, I'll just I'll take it from him, kind of
That's not how you hold it.
finger and
Even I
thumb.
know that.
Just kind of like, see, I instantly look more relaxed and more humanoid by holding the cup.
This guy is still looking at both of you.
I can't agree with that.
All you have to do is observe people, Thorn. It's very simple.
I have observed many people. You look nothing like them.
I'm trying. It's the effort that counts.
Granted.
Thank you very much to
try
Wild Engineer, who donates for another Wild Magic Surge.
Oh, okay, random then. Okay, so we're going to keep the same numbers as before. 1, 2, 4. Number
Me.
4. If you can roll for me, please, Ed. I don't know how you're going to do that on your... Oh, hang on, you've got that 100 thingy crazy dice. Can you do that? Or are you
There
going
you
to roll 20?
What, do I need to 100?
No, it's... what is it?
1d 614.
40.
Hang on, I'll put it in chat for you.
Yeah, I know. I do the same. I do the same.
202. So as you're doing this poor barman is just like, can I get you anything else?
No, you've been very helpful already. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Okay. Now, Ed or Thorn, you feel compelled to now only refer to yourself in third person.
Okay.
You suddenly realizing all these humans around you. You think
They need to know my
you
name.
feel different. You feel slightly different and feel like you need to,
Yep.
establish yourself a bit more by referring to yourself in third person.
Oh dear.
What
So,
is?
do the humanoids actually want to rest, or
It's a weird thing, Unit Delta. You see, now he want to rest, but at the same time, I'm very much on edge.
is it the virus
From what?
that's bothering you?
It's more that the rug seems to get pulled out from under us every single time we put our guard too far down.
I can understand.
And
I feel that way.
you guys are in this room full of lots and lots of people just going about their business.
We do not belong here. He says out of character again. You said there was a lot of children. Is it like an inordinate amount of children? Like with nobody looking after them?
It's like a playground. It looks like there's a number of adults compared to children. They're sort of equal, and the kids are literally just playing.
I think this is nice.
You know, when I was saying about it, I really thought I wanted to be in a place like this, but now that I'm here, I just can't relax.
I'm with you on this one. I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna do like that mom look where it's like, where's Telemachus?
Yeah. Telemachus, you can see, is talking to some other children. She's smiling, she's laughing. There's obviously, she looks like she's having fun. And Blister, out of the corner of your eye, you think you see something as someone walks past you.
I will turn and take a good old look at that.
Can you roll a perception for me, please?
I can.
You only see the back of this person, but someone walks past you, not paying attention to you or anything like that. Blonde hair, walks past and heads out the door.
So this would be why Blister rolls a 5, because you see the blonde hair and everything, and he's thinking, well, I've seen something suspicious, but I don't want to make it look like I'm looking. So he's sort of trying to do the side eye, without raising any suspicions that he might be looking at. He's just, it's all in his head, He's like, I don't know if I just saw something suspicious on that person. Oh god, I'm paranoid, aren't I?
Well, it depends. What did you see?
Not a lot, to be honest, just blonde hair.
That is very suspicious.
Well,
You're afraid of blonde hair?
I was trying to
Booby of yours?
It wasn't like puffy like Telemachus's, older Telemachus's type of hair, was it?
Was it?
On a 5, you don't know.
I don't know. It could have been. Maybe it just reminded me for a second. It's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. Can I insight check myself?
Can I insight check you?
Yeah, insight check each other.
Everybody inchecking.
What? Hang on. What are you inciting yourself for?
Just to see
why?
how my gut feels about this. Like whether I genuinely am like, oh, it's probably nothing, or if I'm suspecting that I'm missing some major plot hook.
Yes.
Is this a plot hook I see before me?
Hey, better than me.
Okay. So you feel like you spotted this person for a reason. Like there is something about this person, you know. And Alara, you don't know what he's thinking. He's like you're looking at him like, yeah, he's confused.
Do we actually need to get you to see a doctor? You do seem a little off. You did the
Or you're
strange
hallucinating.
thing, like with the side of your eyes, and you turned your head a funny way. And tried to do him doing the side eye.
No, it's all right, unit. I've gone through some changes recently. First there was a haircut and then showering. It's all been a bit overwhelming. I'm probably all right. There's just something about that person that
What's your gut telling you?
my gut's telling me I should go and follow him.
Trust your gut feeling.
Go with that.
It's something I learned is to trust your gut feeling.
Would you like us all to go, or would you like to go on your own?
I think we should probably split down the middle. I'd hate for something to happen to Telemachus.
That's the point. We don't want to leave her behind.
Thorn will follow you.
Alright, Farn, let's go.
Just be safe.
Always. You look after yourself.
You too.
Don't worry, we'll look after each other. It'll be absolutely fine.
Don't ever say that.
And Blister and Thorn,
Ever.
you head off and you can follow the figure out of the room. And this person's quite tall. But she does walk down the hallway and she's in like a leather jacket. She's in a cap. And she's in just some heavy boots and some jeans as she walks down this corridor. You roll a perception for me, please, Blister.
I am checking it out hard. Oh, I'm being consistent with my rolling.
This looks like your jacket.
Is that the person you saw?
I think so, Farn. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they wearing the same jacket as me?
How similar do they look? Do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, go on then. Just do a roll for it. Just a quick roll.
Insights or?
No, perception, please.
We roll a 7.
Yeah, you think, it looks kind of the same. The colors are the same.
They might be been bought in the same store.
Look, we're in... Yeah, could have been. Alright, look, I don't want to... Like, my gut's telling me that I should sneak up, but at the same time, we're in a new facility, there's all new people, I don't want to look like a weirdo. Maybe we should just, call out to them and be like, hey, I noticed you, how are you doing?
You could confront him. It's a simple plan. Simple plans always work.
Yeah, you're following this girl down this corridor.
Yeah, I'm starting to look a bit suspicious. I'm going to put an end to this right now. Hey, Blondie!
Like, and this person stops and turns around and like, what did you call me? Like, and as you turn around, this is what you can guess is like a 16, 17-year-old Telemachus. She's got your hat on back to front on her head. She's wearing your jacket and she's like, and looks at you briefly. And I think you just have like this staring like moment. Like,
Telemachus?
Blister, the hell are you doing here?
The hell are you doing here and why are you a teenager?
Because
You must
I
not do that
grew
fast. I
up.
knew that.
How long have you been here?
I work here.
Alright, look,
No. Where have you been?
Hang on, Telemachus. I know you're really smart, okay, so you'll probably understand this. There's been a whole bunch of timey-wimey bullshit going on, alright? I've met about 10 of you at this point, alright? My one is in there with Alara. Alara's alive, we're good.
Alara's here.
When did you last see us, and did I kill anyone?
What? No! Why would you kill someone?
It
Who
was
did you
just a
kill?
vicious rumour spread by one of my other clones. I'm sure everything's fine.
Who did you kill?
I don't think I killed anyone. I haven't killed anyone yet.
Yeah?
Thorn says a lie.
Who's this? Like, it points over to Thorn.
Oh, this is Thorn. He's from the cryo units. You know where I used to keep the bear.
Oh, hi! And she sort of holds out her hand to shake it.
Shaking back.
So, what are you doing here?
Well, you know, we just came to relax. Kind of hoping to avoid all the clones, no offense.
I'm not a clone.
Alright, the interdimensional timey-wimey clones. The clone by proxy, maybe?
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
I'm really glad you get it, because you're always smarter than me, Telemachus. If you could explain it to me next,
What
that'd be
time
fantastic.
zone are you in?
I tell her the year I think it is.
Yeah, so... Oh, okay. So I'm about 7 right now. Right? Am I here?
Telemachus, you're freaking me out. What? Do you understand this?
Yeah, I work here. I'm a collector.
That's not explaining.
Oh, sorry. This thing, and she holds out like her wrist. She's like, this thing, I go places and I collect viruses so that we can bring them back here and find a cure. You know,
Alright.
and my grandpa did.
Now, my next question, how comes you're wearing my jacket and my cap? And I'm
Well-
guessing, looking from the way that leather is strapped across your chest, that you've got my pistol as well.
And she's sort of like, well, you disappeared. Is what I had left.
I disappeared but left all my clothes behind.
Well, you left your jacket. I'm not wearing your trousers.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Like, she looks at you almost like, ugh. So you left your cap and your jacket, and
And
you put on a spacesuit and you left.
Hang on a minute.
Sorry, I'm watching V's face.
Hang on a minute. You mean I put on a spacesuit and I left? Was this around the time that we were getting attacked by a giant shark?
Oh my god, I remember that. That was insane. How did you survive that?
That's a very good question. I had a plan. I didn't mean to leave. And in fact, maybe I didn't leave. Or maybe I did leave. Who knows? Oh Christ. Okay, so look. Here's the sequence of events, as far as I'm aware, in my trouser leg of time, right? Shark attacks ship. I decide to be a hero. Jump off of ship with a singularity emitter, thinking that, you know, I'll pull the shark off and pull myself in. Yeah, it'd be great. Did not consider the fact that we might be joined together, but it worked out fine. Singularity backfired on me in space, must have been the cold out there. Fired 3 shots, it overheated, burned my suit. I hit a void fish and then landed on another planet. Which is probably where your story ends, because Blister just disappears into space. Great. Well, in my timeline, I was on the planet for maybe a week. They worshipped me for some reason. And then a week later, you and Alara turned up with some friends and saved me.
Yeah.
And then we went on to other places and carried on adventuring like all good friends.
Yeah.
Oh, so that happened in your timeline too. So when did I put on the spacesuit and disappear?
I think, if I'm honest, I don't remember. It's been a while, Blister.
But you remember all of that shark stuff.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
So what is the last time you... The thing you do remember with Blister?
The last thing I remember is him putting on a suit and
Before that.
everything he said.
So
I don't know what you're...
you don't have any recollection between them points?
No.
What about Alara? What's the last thing you remember about Alara? Your face lit up when I mentioned her.
Yeah, Alara, we traveled to this place, just this city. It was I think I must have been about 11. We went to this city, we went exploring, and I don't know, she disappeared as well. But I didn't see where she went.
Look,
And then I was on my own.
do you want to come? Would you mind coming and speaking to Alara and Telemachus? You know, you're not gonna like meld together and break time if you see yourself, are you?
So no, I've never done it before.
Well, hell, we'll risk it. Let's go back. Maybe 4 heads are better than 1. Maybe with the 2 Telemachuses, because you are always the smart one, and an Alara, and a Fawn, and a unit. We've got a lot of processing power there. Hopefully, we can make some sort of sense of this.
Yeah. Just so you know, I've got to go off on one of my missions in a couple of hours, but I'd
Alright.
quite like to spend the time with you guys.
Please, come along. Sorry I called you Blondie. I didn't know what else to call you.
It's fine. I'm keeping this hat and jacket, by the way, and she just sort of walks past you
Well, I don't need one. I've got my own.
at the moment, and she walks on, and she's like, if you like us, it's like a slap on the back as she like walks past you, and
Oh god, she became a... Alright.
and she heads into the room where Unit and Alara are currently sat, and I'm assuming Thorn and Blister follow.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I don't know. I don't know what they were doing while we were talking.
I've
Aren't
just
you
been
right over there?
sitting on the bench.
Yeah, what have you guys been doing other than standing there with a red cup?
He's
I-
turning in.
I've probably found like one of those nice benches to sort of sit at the edge and watch the kids playing, and specifically watching Telemachus like a hawk, not letting her leave my sight. Just, you know, paranoid, worried something might happen mode.
I'll sit on the same bench.
Yeah, it tips
Try
slightly.
really hard. Try really hard to look kind of casual. So with legs open, kind of with one hand on one knee, but then fixing that pose like this is my relaxed humanoid pose.
Slump your shoulder a little bit.
And as you guys are sat there talking about how to make like Unit look a bit more less Unit, Alara, you hear like this sort of scream of excitement as this 17-year-old comes running towards you and just throws their arms around you, and it's just like, oh my god, you're here, like, and just like you don't get a chance necessarily to look at the face because she's effectively come running up behind you.
I'm probably like doing like one of these things and looking
Yeah.
like I need an adult almost.
Yeah.
Do I see Blister come through the door yet?
You see probably Blister and Thorn walking back through the door,
To be like,
and the arms hugging you look like Blister's jacket.
I'm gonna like pull the face up and look directly at whoever's hugging me right now.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, and she sort of pulls the cap off and just ruffles her hair a bit. And this is like just a mass of blonde hair, and you see a 17-year-old Telemachus. She's like, long time no see. Look, I did it. I got a job. I got a proper job.
Of course you would. And I'm doing one of these, like looking at her, looking at Little, back
Yeah,
and
younger
forth.
Telemachus is still off playing.
What are you doing now?
I work here. I'm a collector.
So you collect those things that they're trying to bring back and find cures for?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
collect them in these things. And she pulls out some of like these glass tubes
Hey,
and stuff that you've had on the ship. There's nothing in them. She's like, you know, the things I used to keep random crap in, like, and she just sort of puts it back. So I just brought them, and apparently it's a breakthrough, and now we use these.
I have seen one of those before. Yes, that's great. And
Didn't you keep an amoeboid in one of them at some point? Blister says, walking up.
Oh my god, that guy! I I liked him.
Yeah, the one that always was mad about chemistry. It was only a couple of weeks ago for me, and I still can't remember.
I liked him. But what are you guys doing here?
Well, we were just doing what we normally do, really, and we saw this, so we thought we'd check things out.
We're attempting relaxing.
Really?
I think I'm doing rather well.
Oh, hi!
Thorn disagrees.
She holds, like, her hand out. And who are you?
Hello, I'm Unit Delta. I'm one of the crew.
It's nice to meet you. Is Argo still a pain in the ass?
When isn't he?
True. He sort of stayed like that for a very long time.
So, Telemachus, why don't you tell Alara about when me and Alara disappeared?
Oh, yeah. Blister took off, put on a spacesuit, left his stuff, and he went. And then the last I remember of us, I was like 11 or so. I think I was 11. It was coming up to around my birthday, I think, so I might have been 12. But we went to, like, the ship when Argo had, like, we had to sort of crash land on one of the planets. And we went to visit the city, and then I couldn't find you.
Did we get separated?
Yeah, I think it was just really busy. I don't remember fully. I don't know. But, like, what have you guys been doing? Whereabouts are you in this time scale?
Do you remember the same things we've gone through so far for the age you are now?
I remember going to Aberdeen. That was an interesting one. Yeah.
Do you remember the big ship?
What big ship?
I remember when there were a lot of Argos all together at Aberdeen?
Yeah.
And Project E.
What's Project E?
It was written on one of the sides of the ship. The big ship.
Blister
Remember that at all?
Blister looks at Alara like, you don't want to reveal more about
that? No, sorry. Must be a different timeline.
So I guess it sort of split at that point somehow.
I mean, was I there?
You were definitely there.
Oh, like me, like 17 me, 17-year-old
Like
me.
little you, little.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't remember that part at all? Beyond being in Aberdeen?
Not really, no.
God, I'm paranoid. I'm coming up with theories now, but they're all crazy.
Crazier than usual, or?
It's probably got a simple explanation, Blister. They normally do.
Sorry. Does this sound completely bonkers? Like, I would just say, like, what the...
Like, Unit, you're probably just, you don't understand what's going on here. You haven't been awake for this. You're just like, for one, there are now technically two. You're seeing an older version of this child.
For creatures that... I'm just going to say to Thorn, the creatures that don't live very long, they get awfully confused about what order things come in. You think they'd be able to remember, wouldn't you?
Someone can say makes head or tail of this. This does not compute at all.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. It's very strange. Do you think those two are related, the very small one and the kind of middly small one, because they look very similar?
Thorn thinks it's the same person, just different ages. Somehow.
I'm starting to wish that they hadn't woken me up.
I can agree on that point.
I've got sticky apple stuff on one hand. I've been looked at very strangely several times, and now they're the same person, but they're different ages. This is a very strange day.
Some kind of time paradox. Thor doesn't like time paradoxes.
I'm not a fan myself. As he says that, can I make maybe an intelligence check, see if I can figure out if everything's just talking bull or something like that?
Can do, yeah, or an insight maybe.
Okay. That is a big 6.
Yeah, no. Sort of, if anything, you believe everything.
I kind of hold my chin like I've seen people hold the chin and just nod.
Just smile and wave.
And older Telemachus, 17-year-old Telemachus. So, what was the last one you saw of me? How old was I?
We've kind of been bouncing around and meeting so many different varieties. I can't say exactly age, but a little bit older than you are now, for
Oh.
sure. Yes.
Probably like tweens.
Queens?
Like young 20s. Is that
Yeah.
not a thing?
I guess it could be. Like, she sort of looks at, oh, okay, so like in 5-6 years sort of time.
Probably somewhere around that time, yes.
Well, that's good to know. At least I'll be back with you in that point then. I'm guessing you found me or something.
Something like that. You do know I wouldn't leave you behind intentionally, right?
Yeah, of course. I came here because lots of people come here for help, so I can either help and maybe you would have popped in, and here you are.
At this point, I'm looking up and overhead at Blister, kind of like, now what?
I'm gonna have to go. I've got a schedule to keep. It's gonna be a weird trip for me. So, it's probably my fault. It's all a bit messed up right now, but if it helps other people save lives, then it's fine. I'll see you there, actually. It'll be interesting, Blister. If I spot you, I'll wave to you.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out and give you a wave.
If younger me's there, I probably won't spot. I hope that's all right.
Hey, no, if that's you got shot.
What?
You got shot in our timeline when you were a young, young 20s. A person in a spacesuit shot you, and then you sort of pointed to me, and your death froze as though I shot you. That happened.
I don't understand.
Neither do we.
Are you
Not at
telling
all.
me? Are you telling me I'm dead in your timeline?
No, you're very much alive. You're that age over there. He says, pointing at the kids. He doesn't point at them because he just points at a bunch of kids that look about the right age. You're about that age at the minute, but one of the other Telemachuses, who's older than you, turned up. They got shot on their own, somewhere on the ship, and... yeah.
I'm dead.
Well, one of you is.
A future version of you? Yes, but we're actually trying to figure out the why of all of this to see if maybe we can alter it, maybe?
Well, I must have traveled there for a reason. Hang on. I'll deal with this when I come back from my other job. Right. I'm gonna...
I wouldn't worry too much about it, don't let it throw you off your game while you're out there hunting. Don't go giving yourself a virus or anything, just what you should know.
Okay. I mean... How much do you know about the collectors?
Only what they've just told us with the tour.
Okay, we don't collect viruses just through space, we collect it through time. I'm actually on my way back to the Greenway as we speak, where I first met you, Blister.
Oh.
I know my grandfather had a virus that we haven't got a cure for yet, so I'm gonna go and get it.
Ah, okay. I mean, do you remember that? You were very young.
I think I do. Yeah, I do.
I mean, if you want me to fill you in, he was full of it. Utterly full of it. It took over the ship and tried to kill everyone.
I know. But if I can stop this virus, there's another virus that isn't gonna do something again. If I remember correctly, didn't we throw him into space?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah. I need to get that, because I don't know where that's gonna land.
I look to Alara. Maybe we should help.
If it starts shifting the way things have been going, it might be something worth doing.
How do you
I
travel through time?
This, it only allows one pass. And she holds up the wrist.
Shit.
Sorry.
Well, it was an idea.
It's okay, I'll be back. I mean, from the sounds of it, I've got like 6 more years, right?
Well, I still want you to be careful and watch out for yourself.
I'll be fine. I'm just gonna go say hi to Gramps and then I'll be back. You know?
You're a smart kid, and you're a capable person. But for my
Thanks.
sake, just be careful.
Oh, I will. And at that, she presses her wrist, and it's like this like portal opens up, and you can see through this portal, a young Telemachus in this huge ship, the Greenway, on her own, plugging in buttons with a different system coming down. And she's like, "It's okay, Grandpa, we'll sort this out." And your Telemachus steps through and disappears.
Alright, so they can actually travel through time at will with a special wristband. I just had a really weird theory. I don't usually get these, but this one's really haunting me. What if you weren't cloned, Alara? What if someone just gathered all the U's from different timelines and made them into an army somehow? Maybe that's why we're all disappearing from all these different Telemachus' lives.
As terrifying as that is, it actually starts having things make a little bit more sense. But I don't like the fact that how many of me were there in that ship?
At least 1 battalion. That's a lot of Telemachus left alone. Whoever's doing this, they're fucking with some sort of time thing.
We need to get this figured out and fast. That's one too many left without us.
If I may, not that I understand anything you just talked about, however, why you, Lieutenant Commander? That's what I can't help thinking about. If there are lots of you, why you?
Oh god. Because she's the perfect warrior. Alara, I black holed all of them. All of the clones.
Well, quite frankly, if anything's happened to their mental state and considering what they were doing, maybe that might have been the worst thing to have done.
That's a lot of Telemachus is not getting an Alara back though.
But would they be getting the same Alara back in the first place?
It's true.
Who knows how they perfected their soldier?
You've never thought about, you know, joining some sort of army for no apparent reason, have you?
No.
Good. Just checking.
You will remember, Blister, that you did black hole a lot of these, but you remember the amount that took off and left the ship and dispersed in different directions all over the universe.
That I do. Not gonna mention it right now though.
And you all hear a voice playing, "Hello!" And it's Jennifer as she's sort of popped back in. It's like, an hour's been up, so I didn't know if you wanted me to come and collect you, or like, have you had a nice chat with anyone around here?
I think we've just been letting Telemachus run off some excess energy. She's been pent up in the ship for a bit.
That's fair enough. It's like, we have a Telemachus too. It's such a crazy thing. We have a Telemachus too.
Oh, we met her actually, yeah. Very
did you?
interesting character. Strong-willed, very, very employable.
Oh yeah, she's our best collector. We don't tell her that. We don't have to have a big head. But yes, she is our best collector. She's actually out on schedule now, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
you should look after that one.
Oh, we do. We always take care of our collectors. We only send her after the big job. She can handle herself. Says she's had prior training.
She struck me as the type. Definitely.
If you would like to know more about our collectors, I'm very happy to sit and discuss it with you. But otherwise, Are you okay here, or?
How many
Um,
collectors do you have right now?
Oh, we only have about 16. It's
On
quite
average.
handy. Yeah, you know,
How many
they
missions do they go on?
sometimes they don't go on any for like a week or so. Telemachus, however, we do send out at least twice a week. She tends to handle herself a bit better. She goes on missions on her own, but she will also go with some of the newbies to basically run them through the mission.
And where do they go on these missions? It's just different planets, different galaxies, or
Time, space, depends. Timelines, you know. Why not get a virus so that we can beat it before it's created?
are there any ramifications maybe for having them jumping through time twice a week, all 16 of them?
Well, that's why we move. We hope to, you know, make sure they don't clash with any of the others. That's why we keep constantly moving.
What happens if they clash with each other?
Don't know, hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's good. Just sort of cross that bridge sort of thing.
I mean, nothing could happen. Or something could happen. It just depends.
And who came up with this grand idea of time travel?
The director. The director.
Does the director have a name?
Yes. He doesn't, and she sort of leans in. She's like, he doesn't share it, really. If I'm honest, only 2 of us have seen the director, so yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Good. That's great. Does he take visitors at all?
Yes, if you're interested in sponsoring.
Do you know what? We were going under the guise of being poor lowly folk, hence the get-up. But actually, we are multi-million-dollar investors, and we're very interested in this facility.
Roll a persuasion for me, please.
Deception?
I'll roll a deception, shall I?
Or deception, whichever you prefer. Okay, she looks at you, and she sort of looks at what you're wearing, and then is like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll let you. Follow me. And she sort of jumps up, so like, fantastic. Please come with me. And she starts to lead out of the room. Are you taking younger Telemachus with you?
Oh, I wouldn't be leaving her behind.
Okay.
Yeah, hell no. Telemachus!
And you hear like this little like mass of blonde hair pops up, and she's like, "I'm coming!" And she jumps up and she starts like running like an actual child like towards you. There's no, and she holds on to Alara's hand. It's like, "Oh, we going?"
Yes, we're going, and we're going to be finding out some information that we might want to be a little bit more invested in. So just play along with what Blister and I are about to do.
Okay, I can do that.
To follow these rules, I will like stand bodyguard nowadays instead of just standing, so to speak.
And Jennifer leads you out. She leads you out of this room, down a new corridor to a set of elevators. So, top floor, right, okay. And she steps into this glass elevator, and she's like, "Come on then," as she starts plugging in some numbers. Now, this elevator shoots up, and then it shoots along the side, and it seems to go around the building. So you can see, one, the greenery outside, but also the galaxies as you pass. And then it shoots directly up again and stops suddenly. Here you are. And she steps out, and you're in like an office with a desk, and then there's a door behind it. She's like, "That's my desk. I will just give me a second." And she heads over and pops her head through the door on the other side. Sorry, director, we've got some sponsors to see you. Yeah, okay. And you hear a, "Oh, fantastic," like that. And so, he'll see you if you want. I don't know if the child can go in, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
No, actually, this is an alien species. She's not actually a child. This is an adult of her kind.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, as she looks down at Telemachus, like,
It's okay. It's
I
a
should've
guise.
asked.
It's a guise that we encourage so that we can assume like a small family rather than investors.
You really put a lot of thought into this.
Aye.
I'm so sorry. Like, she gets down to like Telemachus and she's like, I probably shouldn't be doing this either. She stands upright again. I'm not trying to. And Telemachus is like
Honestly,
wide-eyed
at this
looking
point,
at
all
this.
you can do now is be insulting. It's best if you just leave.
Okay. And she will go and sit at her desk and just start like typing in some things into the screen. And Telemachus looks at you both really confused, but just goes with it.
Give her a sly wink.
And she does like a wink back, but doesn't quite know why, but she does it. And you walk into this room. And there is a man, fairly, not an elderly man, but an older gentleman sat behind a desk in a white lab coat. And Telemachus is a bit nervous. She's sort of not really looking. She's sort of sliding behind Alara. Like she knows that she might screw this up because she doesn't really know what's going on. And this man is sat at the desk and he stands up and says, "Oh, welcome," and holds out a hand to shake for all of you.
Hello, McDean.
Hi.
McDean is the name. And this is my partner. Introduce yourself.
I'm Sally.
Sally, of course.
Hi, Sally. It's lovely to meet you. And who are these fine gentlemen?
They're our
These-
bodyguards.
Yes, Vector bodyguards. And this fine young woman here is Telemaria.
Oh, hello. And she sort of pokes her head round. He's like, "It's nice to meet you, Telemariah." Is that what you said?
That's exactly what I said, yes.
Okay. Hi, Telemariah.
It's the tapping the R in my accent. It makes things sound funny. But I'll let you off. No, we're very interested in your facility, but we need some more information before we consider making a serious investment.
Of course. Sit down. And he just like, as he taps his desk, all these chairs sprout out of the floor. Sit down.
I will take a seat. With one leg raised, power stance, or at least Blister thinks so.
Telemachus is like awkwardly like trying to shift herself up on this chair. And she's looking a bit confused, but otherwise she sat there.
I'll just point straight at Blister, look at Alara and go, "See, I told you, relax, that's how it looks," and then sit down and do exactly the same thing.
I'll take a seat on the other side of Blister. Like, can I seat myself between Blister and Telemachus?
Yeah.
All right. I'll sit down, and I'm going to be sitting anything but relaxed, really like ramrod straight, like ready to act if needed.
What about Thorn? How are you sitting? Are you standing?
I will stand in a guard post, more or less.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't catch your name there, sir.
Director. I'm the director.
Ah, you don't have any other aliases?
Well, I do, but I'd like to know more about you before we discuss things like that.
Of course.
What is it you would like to know? And who are you? Like, what do you guys do?
McDean, we build spaceships. We've had a lot of success, and we've got some excess profits that we would like to spread around the galaxy in the way of making our name more heard. We're looking
So
at
investing in the greater good.
yeah, we're looking at expanding into several factories. We need locations as well as, advertisement. I'm very interested in this time travel business you've got going on with your collectors.
Yes.
How exactly does that work? It sounds like a great industry opportunity there.
Yes, one of our technicians created these wonderful bracelets, and you effectively set the dials to time, year, place, and that's where you go.
So, what I'm hearing now, as an industrial person, is I could take an order for a ship, time travel back to the start of the project date, and have the ship ready by the time they request it.
I guess so, yes. The only thing is you can only move yourself as an individual through this time and space. You would have to have a separate attachment for if you were to take a ship back.
Do you sell these things?
No, I'm afraid we only have 16 at the moment for our collectors. However, it is something we are looking into if it is something you're interested in. Obviously, we'd need to do some back history checks. I'm not going to give time devices to just anyone. No offense, I don't hand them out to things like murderers or anything like that, or scammers. So I don't want to give them.
No,
So you keep these are kept under lock and key essentially and only given to essential employees, is what you're saying.
Of course. Even I don't have one.
What happens if you bring things from back in time to now? Like, when you go back, do you end up naked, or do you duplicate objects, or...?
You tend to arrive how you left.
But so, for example, if I was to put one of these units down on the counter, time travel back 2 seconds, grab one, and then come back to our time, would I in fact have 2 devices?
Not necessarily, it depends. I'm not too sure, we've not tried it in that respect before. We've literally just moved greater distances. I assume that would be something, however, you could come in conflict with yourself. Something we're not willing to risk.
Ah, yes. The old Paradukes.
Yes, the paradox, yes. I myself refuse to time travel. I do not want to know my future. I also don't actually speak with the collectors. They are hired and maintained by the wonderful Jennifer outside. I merely fund and run the hospital as a whole.
This hospital is an amazing facility, by the way. We got to see a little bit of your labs collecting the viruses and stuff. It's very noble. Very noble.
I am currently working on a ship, almost like, I guess, what some Earth people would call an ambulance, that I can take around and branch out to more people and offer our services. So if you are a shipbuilder, this could be something interesting.
Ah, yes.
How large of a ship are you thinking?
Sorry?
How large of a ship are you thinking of building?
Not overly large, not like a huge carrier or anything like that. Sort of more of just a transport ship. Not with a lot on it. Much like your own, in fact. Maybe a little bit bigger.
Ah, yes, the ambulance. Crazy Terran traditions.
Is this something that you would be interested in? Would you be able to provide these sorts of services?
I think we could do an exchange of services. That would be incredible. Tell me, who develops your time devices?
We had an engineer. He's not currently on hospital grounds right now. He's been called away on another business. But his name is Jim Thompson, and he's fantastic.
Jim Thompson, is he like a free agent? Is he a contractor, or is he a company man?
Well, he is a sort of a contract person. However, he's sort of come with us for most of the time. I think we pay him a lot more than most others do. It is a contracted designed to us, so you would have to come through us to purchase it, if that is what you are thinking.
I see. You own the rights, sort of thing. Well,
Yes,
you said they weren't for sale.
They're not at the moment, but if you're showing interest, I would obviously, as I said, have to do a check on you. But other than that, I think it could be interesting.
What do you think,
I'm
Sally?
I'm only a humble bodyguard. I try and like look at Blister and kind of like try to wink and then realise I've not got any eyelids, so I can't do that. But
Intense stare.
I might look at Blister and say, however, if I might make a suggestion, perhaps you could take the company advertising into the past and advertise the business maybe even from the start, thus increasing your customers tenfold, and you won't have actually changed much at all apart from a poster here and there. Maybe if they could show us how one works, give us a demonstration, that might be useful, would it? And it's like, I have no idea what we're trying to do.
Thank you very much. UD, that's great. Sally, what do you think of all of this? Do you think that passing these checks would be good?
I think it definitely has some interesting potential to it. I'm a little concerned that the director himself hasn't tried a product he's so willing to try and have sold.
I have no intention of running into any of my past selves.
Would that
You have no concern about what others traveling would have to the world in general?
I guess so. However, I am assured by Jennifer they are trained perfectly well. I've never met any of our collectors. Again, it freaks me out that I could have met them before.
I can see that.
Hmm.
Oh boy, I
But
can
this
see
is
that.
why I am designing a ship. I intend to leave on this ship in about 6 to 7 years' time, so I can transport in my way. I can travel the universe, collect, and provide help in my own way.
What's your definition of provide help?
I will travel around to different places and I will help people with their ailments and hopefully learn as much as I can.
When you collect these viruses, do people come back with them?
We have very safe facilities to store them and we bring them back to our labs. However, on the ship, I will have my own lab.
I'm just curious about the research and how it works together with the, are there test subjects? Do you have volunteers? How do you know it's been successful?
People who are already ill sometimes volunteer. Otherwise, we carry it out on artificially created life forms. We make sure they cannot feel. We make sure they cannot feel pain. We make sure they cannot feel anything too much of that. But we merely watch.
So
apologies, Lieutenant Commander. Please do go first.
So you're basically growing your own organisms.
Can do. Yes, that is the new thing we are working on at this time.
Interesting.
And how do you build them? Do you use like a base print to make sure they work properly, or?
Oh, we use my own DNA for that.
Perhaps if we were to build a laboratory into a ship for you, maybe we should see one of your laboratories and how they work first. We weren't allowed to look at the laboratories earlier, but if you could show us around, perhaps we could help.
Yes, of course. Bear with me a moment, and he calls down and makes a phone call. At this, Telemachus jumps up and just walks out the room and closes the door behind her and leaves you all in there.
Well, not without question she doesn't. I'm sure one of us will try and grab her.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm probably like up and zooming after her.
Yeah, can you do a sleight of hand? Because she looks like she's getting out of here.
Okay. There we go. That's so good.
You sort of don't grab her, but if you want to follow her, you can. She sort of slips out of your grasp as she leaves the room.
How close am I to?
Yeah, whereabouts were you stood? Were you stood behind Blister? Were you stood...
Well, behind anyways.
I think you posted yourself by the door, didn't
somewhat,
you?
Yeah, I will be between the door and...
Okay, sleight of hand for me then, please.
And plus 6 is 22.
Yeah. You grab her by the arm, and she looks up at you saying, "Let me go.
You should stay here."
I'll just go outside the door. I don't want to be in here anymore.
I'm going to follow up right behind. I want to talk to her for just a little bit.
Obviously.
Let her go. But let her go.
I'm letting her go and then...
She looks a bit grumpy, like she pulls her arm away and literally just walks out the room. Jennifer's not in there. You actually see her leaving the room, like in a hurry. You think she's got like a bundle of like glass sort of like screens as she runs out. She's like, I'll be back in a minute.
That's fine. What have you figured out?
I haven't figured anything out. This isn't funny.
It's not meant to be funny.
Why are we here? Why is he here? I don't understand.
He who?
My grandfather, why is he in there?
That's your grandfather.
Yes. I don't understand. Why is he that much younger?
We had no idea that was your grandfather. We were just told about a director.
That's John Greenway. That's my grandfather.
You're absolutely sure about this?
Yeah.
Pieces of a puzzle are getting put together at this point right now. Let's just put it this way. All we were told is that there was a director. We had no idea of name or who the director was.
Okay, but I'm staying out here.
and she just sort of sits down on, like, flumps down on a chair. Her legs are sort of swinging because it's she's so short.
I'm not going to make you go back in there, but we're going to try and end this quickly.
I'll help in any way I can, but I don't understand why he doesn't recognize me. I mean, he looks younger, but...
Well, then he hasn't met you yet, sweetheart.
And she sort of frowns at that, like, not in, like, a frown at you, but, like, rude. like more than anything. But meanwhile in the room, what is Blister, Thorn, and Unit doing as this man's like, right, okay, I've just had a call from downstairs. Jennifer said she'll get some soup so that we can't, you can go in there without being contaminated.
That sounds fantastic, yeah. How long have you been running this operation?
About 25 years.
25 years. First business, is it?
No, second. But the first one was a complete flump. Tried to make some, like, communications devices. Absolutely terrible.
Often the way, first business, a couple of years.
I'm proud of this one, though. I'm proud of this one. And he stands up.
It's very respectable establishment. Well done, I've got to say.
Thank you.
Certainly took the lessons from the first one.
Absolutely. Right, if you'll follow me.
By any chance, do you have a place we could chat for a little bit? Our one associate is feeling a little bit ill at ease, and I think a private conversation might be beneficial to get us all on the same page.
Gosh, yes, use my office. And like he opens up the office. He's like, I'll wait for Jennifer, and he steps out and offers his office to all of you.
So he goes to the same room where Telemachus is?
Sorry?
So he's in the same room where Telemachus is then right now?
Currently, but Telemachus hops up and walks into his office. Like,
okay,
arms crossed.
And they're totally out of the room?
Yeah, he closes the door behind you. He's like, just let me know when you're done.
I don't suppose either of you can check for recording devices or bugs or any means they could hear us right now?
I can certainly try. I have a thing. I don't know how it works. Let me just double check. there is stuff and things are happening, and I don't know what they are. Just there,
I got no more skills than two ice enemies.
Never mind. I have to know where it is first. So we can look.
Yeah, can you, whoever wants to look, can you roll a perception for me, please?
Oh, I'm looking as soon as I can find my sheet.
These dice are cursed, I tell you.
16 for me. 16 for me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, was it perception?
Perception.
Before one of the, maybe before Delta looks, I'm gonna cast guidance on them. You've got this, Delta. You can find it anywhere you go.
Is that a D4?
That is adding a D4.
That is a 13.
Okay.
All right. Bit of a waste.
Blister, are you looking as well, or?
No, I was just guiding Unit. Like, you got this,
Yeah.
Delta. You got this.
Okay. You can you spot one camera up in the corner. However, it looks like the Wizmos have spotted this as well, because they are currently climbing up the wall and trying to yank it off the wall.
Oh,
Trying to rip it
of
off
course,
the
the
wall.
Wizmos. Wizmos destroy everything.
Like, and
Oh,
you see two of them. They just either side punching it. Like either one is they're just trying to slowly crush this.
Use the singularity emitter.
No. No.
That sounds like a bad plan.
We don't need the singularity emitter at this point, but
Oh no, the Wizmos. They've all got little ones.
I know they have little ones, but we don't need any more little black holes.
All right.
You're gonna Swiss cheese our universe, I swear.
Is it?
Telemachus has shared something rather critical with us, or with me. It's also why she left the room.
All
The
right.
director is her grandfather.
This time business is not good for my brain.
Or mine.
So the question is, hang on a minute. When we found the SS Greenway, it was floating in space. It was all wrecked.
Uh-huh.
Now I wonder if that spaceship had come back in time. If that was his ambulance thing that he's been talking about, or whether that's,
Plausible.
or whether he's somehow found his way into this time from the future. or something, or the past. Oh Christ!
It's getting a little muddled, isn't it?
It is.
My vote is on the ambulance. Not to bring an
Mine
ambulance.
is too. If he's had the time to create it and he comes back, the biggest concern is the fact that here he's convinced that he's got all these viruses under control. Granted, I wasn't there, but from what you both told me, one virus was far from under control.
But that was really creepy as well, wasn't it?
I don't know, I was still in cryo.
I saw myself. And, a few other things on that ship. It was weird, and Adam and Scrat the player isn't sure if he's confusing a Call of Cthulhu game with it or whether it actually happened in this one.
Too many games.
Either way, it works really well.
How old was the gentleman when you met him last time?
You could say old as fuck.
So much older than he is now.
Yes,
And it's where you found me.
it is where we found you. So if he doesn't recognize you, maybe you've not happened yet.
No. And she's sort of like, yeah.
So I'm gonna like pat her head and kind of like, you know, it's okay.
Oh, wait,
Telemachus.
there is a massive... Oh, boy.
Telemachus, what's your birthday, dear?
Huh. I don't know. On which planet? I went to a few. Which month are we talking?
That's an excellent point. I was thinking more year than month and date.
Well, I'm 7.
Good.
Did you get the year at all from your grandfather, your parents, as to when you were born?
I don't remember my parents.
I'm just thinking that perhaps you were actually born much further in the future. Brought back with your elderly version of your grandfather, and then you have been aging along to the point that you're actually. So I'm just
Oh.
very confused.
You think I've gone back?
Possibly. I mean, you are younger now.
So are you telling me that we need to get Telemachus back to the future?
Dude.
Well, you can tell my family.
Oh, yeah, you went there.
As he would.
Before we start sending anyone to, back, from, or around the future, I think we need to figure out how these all get connected together first.
That's a very good point. We need to find where we are, where everyone is in the timeline, and who's going backwards and who's going forwards at once, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I swear to God, if this happens even more, I'm going to need a doctor.
You can find yourself.
I found
You-
many of myself many times over. I'm good.
You hear hello, just and a head pokes in. He's like, just checking you're all good to go. Jennifer's here with the suit, so you can walk in the lab.
Oh yeah, just 2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes. We'll be right
Okay.
there.
Yep. And he just sort of slides out.
Seriously, this is like playing dragon chess, but you know the board's 3D and the pieces move backwards through time. It's
And the room's on fire.
I've got a real bad hunch that this guy's behind Project E.
You and me both, considering something Telemachus just shared with us.
Why is he creating things?
To test things.
Could your clones be the organic stuff they created? Here in the lab?
Let's just say I'm not ruling that out.
What if
Well,
you say you don't remember your parents? Yeah, let's go poke around. But last final thought: if you don't remember your parents, maybe you weren't necessarily born Telemachus. Maybe you were the result of some sort of project. And I look at Alara.
What?
What do you remember before the ship with your grandfather?
I remember going to a beach. I think.
That's
I went
good.
to a beach.
That's a good memory.
I had a burger in a place before, and I remember I think that was really, really good. And I had a bear, and she starts listing off all these like very stereotypical like child memories. And then we went on the ship, and he said he needed my help with his work.
So it was always just you and your grandfather?
There were a couple of others, but when the virus got them, it wasn't
All right.
pretty. I think Blister saw some of them.
I did. Let's get out there before they get impatient.
Yeah, they're getting suspicious, but
Thank you very much for the Nat 1 Wild Engineer for making the Back to the Future reference.
oops.
And you head out, and you can see Jennifer's there with like these little packages. She's like, just plug these into post unit, or the suit will go on. I got 2 for the 2 Vex. I don't know if you'll need them, but
I am wearing clothing, so better to be safe than sorry, I suppose.
okay. And she hands them out, and
I'm taking no chances.
Telemachus, she hands the little one to Telemachus. She's like, I know you're an adult, but this is the only size they hand. And she sort of awkwardly hands down like this other one. She's like, thanks. Like, as like she sort of she taps it to her chest, and you see it as it starts to spread over her. This spacesuit.
Does it look familiar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If Blister I'm not sure if Blister would. He'd probably wait and see what everyone else does. The spacesuit looks familiar. He might have a mini freak out. His eyes are going to start darting, like looking at Alara, like ah.
I'll just pop mine on. I didn't see
Yep.
it.
Yours just goes on until like you got like a the visor sort of comes up, and you can fold it back so there's just the suit if you do need to. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm pop my on too.
Yeah, it's like a as it folds out. What's wrong, Blister?
Not a thing, Telemachus. Not a thing. Guess I'll.
I'm gonna grab his arm and like look at him. You see what I see?
Yep.
Don't leave my side.
All right. Telemachus is the priority.
Absolutely.
I put my suit on.
And I'll put mine on.
And you can fold down like the helmet if you wish to. There's also an alternate thing where it's almost like a glass sort of dome comes over your head rather than the normal. And they take you downstairs, and you can see the director suiting up as well. And he's talking to Telemachus as they go down. He's just like, you're a very intelligent little one, aren't you? And she's just like, I'm not little. Like, I'll have it. Like, she's sort of like, I'm nearly 3 foot. Like, and she's like sort of yelling at this mate. I'm sorry. And you disappear back into the elevator, and the doors open straight on this lab. And there's lots of people in here. There's lots of people tinkering and stuff like that. And yeah, what do you do?
Look around at the lab and see if anything else is ringing a bell.
Exactly.
Roll a perception check for me, please.
Yeah, because you know. Oh, come
15.
on! I'm too rattled by these suits.
You are all looking around, and this lab, it looks like a standard lab. There's lots of things sort of going on. The one thing Thorn might recognize a bit more is that you can see some of the bracelets that Telemachus was, the older Telemachus was wearing. And people seem to be working on them. You see a couple of other people dressed in non-lab coats, but in space sort of suits. And they're dressed very differently. One of them has like a tattoo all the way down their face. And this looks to be like a collector who's coming in with like a big box of things. This is our lab. This is where most of the fun stuff happens. But yeah.
You said you have organisms to test on?
Yes. Let's have a look through here. And you see these weird sort of... They don't look human. You're not too... It's just a weird sort of shape. There are arms, there are legs, but it's a weird shape. We are hoping to slowly progress to a more human form to see how it will react. But so far, this is what we have created.
So these are all from you, like your genetic material?
Yes, they are.
And do you intend to possibly explore creating other creatures? Would you still use your own material as a base, or are you going to expand?
I feel that we may expand at some point. It's only natural to use different DNA and other things to create a more stable person, with more immunities and things like that. I for one have never really had a cold, never had a sniffle, anything. So I started with mine. And yes, we are working on a few projects at the moment. We are looking at creating the perfect sort of person so that they can never be infected, or they can be strong. We strive for health, so we want them to be strong and confident and immune to almost all illnesses.
And your focus on healing and such like.
Yes.
You're not thinking of militarizing anything that you find here? Maybe making... I'm kind of looking at the lieutenant commander after what she said about there being so many of her. Just kind of looking at her and being like, you wouldn't want to make more people.
I mean,
especially perfect people. That would seem quite strange, wouldn't it?
I personally would not. I have had contractors approach me for these sorts of things, but I'll be damned if they do something like that. Use my DNA for that sort of thing? Don't think so.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Creating something so...
yes, no, we're about
so many perfect soldiers lying around. That would be absolutely terrible.
We're all about preserving life here. I don't want to,
It's most commendable of you.
Yes. But I am striving to create the perfect human that will be strong and will be able to survive in many conditions. And it is using my DNA. It's a very personal project of mine.
It sounds it, for sure. Well, your facility drifts, correct?
Yes, it does.
You've shown us a great deal of experiments and ideas you shared with us. I think we probably would best do well with some time to talk with each other first before making any final decisions, but you've definitely piqued our interest.
Of course, thank you. And here, as you can see the time traveling devices. We are working on more. We want to hire more collectors in the process, just to prove to you we're really committed to the cause. I can, if I can escort you out of this lab. Otherwise, yes. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, do you know what? I've got a real hankering to get back to our ship and
talk things over.
Yeah, we need to talk things over. I'm very interested in everything you're doing, though, especially with the military applications that could potentially come around. I think that's very interesting.
I will not have my design used for military.
That's exactly what I mean. Very commendable.
Thank you. I have worked very, very hard on Project E, and I will not allow this to be used for any sort of military base.
Out of curiosity, why the letter E?
Oh, it's the name of my daughter, so I thought I'd, use it.
What's her name?
Alara.
That's a lovely name.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites. It was also my wife's name. We named her after her. But if there's anything else I can do for you, please don't hesitate. Here's, and he sort of reaches out. Until you leave, here's a comms device if you wish to talk to me. Or Jennifer will pass you on to me if you need to speak with me. It was very nice to meet all of you. Good luck with the future, and I hope to hear from you
The
soon.
pleasure's all ours. We gotta go now. See you later.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. And he sort of shows you out of the lab, and you see some of the other lab people sort of like, you know, wave you off. And do you leave the hospital?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear that?
Going, gone.
going on, yeah.
You'll notice Telemachus is catching up with you,
Go on, Telemachus.
and she
Hey,
is running
mate.
out of the hospital.
Our Telemachus.
You're Telemachus. Little
picking her up.
Telemachus.
I'm picking her up. I'm holding her close. I'm picking her up.
Yeah. She sort of just lets you do that and holds on. And I'm assuming you guys are heading back to the ship.
Yeah, I'll be watching out though. Does teenage Telemachus come back?
Good point.
As you step back onto the ship, you don't see her anywhere. You can see some other collectors. They're sort of standing in the green area, creating these portals and stepping into them and disappearing again.
There's no time. I'd love to know how that mission goes where she tries to cure her grandfather that we found in the past that she's now gone back to the past to find from the future.
Are we leaving now?
I don't know.
To at least try and get a better idea of what's happening here. Maybe at least just.
We need about 8 more hours of conversation, I think, and then maybe we might be able to understand some of this timey-wimey bullshit.
Yes.
Is
Agreed.
8 hours enough?
No,
It's never going to be enough time, but hopefully get a little bit closer.
but we need Jolt Cola and cheese curls.
And a time machine.
Mm.
On the way out, before we get to the ship, can I just try to take note of how people are getting in and out of the locked lab? If there's like a card, or whether it's like a handprint.
It looks to be like an iris scan and a handprint, so people go in and out. But that's about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And as you leave and you head back to you're by your ship at the port at the dock, and Jennifer's sort of like waving at you. It's like, come back anytime.
So keen. See you soon.
See you in a bit. Like as she sort of like
We'll write to you. Don't worry.
Okay. And she sort of turns around and disappears off. You're going onto your ship.
Yes.
I bet you're bollocks to a barn dance that his wife is an orc.
Oh, God.
Or at least half orc. Which means Alara.
Like Telemachus, by the way, has sort of jumped down and she's run off to her room, or she's doing something at this point. Now that you're back on Argo.
So I'm either from his wife or her mother.
Is there a family resemblance at all?
Shouldn't you be able to check DNA in the medical bay?
That's a good point.
He was human, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand how genetics works, but I mean...
Well, do we really need to have this conversation about how birds and bees and...
No. No. But I'm just okay. My mind can't help but drift towards how the relationship with Telemachus works if he made her from his own DNA, but you're also his daughter or something. I can't help but drift there, but let's not go into that. Project E.
I think you need to fill us in this lack of knowledge.
Okay, so basically Project E, the way he's described it sounds great. You know, you make everything so that you can, you know, cure the world, cure the universe, great. At some point though, in at least one timeline, it takes a massive left turn where they end up making battalions of Alaras I think essentially they were trying to kill me.
Ooh.
They
Should
knew your
take this as a
name.
compliment, I guess. Kind of.
I'm curious. Could we test the DNA?
Well, it's a good start at least.
I
Giving us a something to point us at?
It might give us some answers.
Have like a med bay or anything like that we could use?
Yeah, there is a med bay. You know, the older Telemachus used to work in that one. And you can all head there. Younger Telemachus, you can see, is just walking around. She's not really doing much. She's doing her checks before takeoff, the standard stuff she does.
Are you three gonna be alright? I had to clean up that mess in the med bay. I'd rather not go back down there. Just yet.
That's fine. I understand. We're gonna. Do we have samples on hand? Just in the
Yeah, you will have them because of medical records and stuff like that. You guys, the three of you, can head to the medical bay.
Okay.
And Argo will pop down like, "Oh, you're back then."
Argo, can you compare the DNA between myself and Telemachus?
Yeah, all right. And it's just sort of like physically this head on the screen turns around and it looks like it's looking at something, and then it turns back. It's like, yeah, what do you want to know?
Any potential matching family-wise, bloodline?
Okay, let's have a look. And he's like humming for a long time. He's like, yeah, looks like we got a bit of a match. Not a strong one, but there's something there. I think. I don't know. System could be playing up again. Blister was the last one who fixed it.
What are you finding?
I'm just finding a similar DNA strand.
How similar are we talking?
I don't know. If I'm honest, I'm not the doctor on this, but there's definitely a link.
Maybe one of the units might be able to help us out then. Could you show it for them?
How's your medicine, Thorn? Are you any better than I am? Because I am rubbish.
I can give it a whirl.
He goes, yeah, here you go. And another screen slides down with all these graphs and information.
So benefit check.
Yes, please.
Can I try to assist and get him advantage on it?
Yeah, if you both look at this together. If you both do really badly, you're just going to make something up.
21.
21, okay.
Oh.
On a 21, you look at this, and it looks as though there is a side of someone, a link of DNA that is exactly the same in both of these. However, there is also a mix of genetics.
So 50% is a match and the other half is...
Telemachus is more of a link to Alara.
The other way around.
Mm-hmm. Which I know doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nope.
So more of what's expressed on her side is linked to me.
Yes.
More like she's your
daughter
ancestor than you are hers.
No, because if oh, this is gonna be fun to figure out, Alice.
Okay.
So we have connections.
Is anybody thinking we need to get in and maybe get a sample of director dude, and see if we can put them in order of who's the original?
As you are discussing this, you hear an explosion.
Argo, please, where did that explosion come from?
A screen pulls up and it looks down. And you can see the hospital in small parts of it exploding. Still pops of fire. And you see people running. You see 17-year-old Telemachus jumping through a portal. There is something following her. This black ichor starts to leak through this portal, and you can hear her screaming, "Run!" like grabbing people. You can see her and many other collectors shooting up these other portals, grabbing people and throwing themselves through this as this fire starts to erupt. You are still attached to this dome as this
Can we unattach? Unit Delta, all to your pilot.
Do we try to get as many people onto the ship and then take off, or do we just take off?
Do we have time for that?
The Black Ichor is creeping towards your ship. You
Time
can
to go.
see other people running to other ships. As I said, you see 17-year-old Telemachus jump back out again, back onto the dock, grabbing more people and jumping back through these portals.
Do we need to grab her before we leave? Quick decision.
You'd have to leave the ship to do this.
From where I am, I would like to cast Void Light on the blackness. I don't think it's going to help much, but it might slow it down.
Okay.
Essentially, it just does like radiant damage.
Okay, so as you do this, it sort of recoils and really sort of backs off a little bit. It seems to slow. However, you see step through the first portal a man. You recognize him, Blister, as a very old man, and all over his skin are these black.
That's not John Greenway. It was taken over by some sort of weird Ichor. The Ichor had become self-aware somehow. They're all dead. Fuck them. Let's go.
Is everybody sure?
Unit Delta, take us out of here.
Look, maybe we can go back in time and try and save them at some point. I don't know, but right now, we ain't got a hope if we stay here. Argo, let go. Go.
Let's go.
Warp speed.
Argo is failing to detach. Because I'm going to use one of Blister's nat ones as he's trying to order Argo. Argo has frozen. There's like a little Windows thing loading.
Oh, damn, I used that bloody... I said the warp speed thing. It always sends him into a bug out. Christ.
Okay.
He's watched too much Star Trek.
Try to do it manually.
Yeah,
We're still
you need
in
to
there.
run to the bridge.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'll zoom.
If they run to the bridge, I will run to the engine. See if I can kickstart or something. It's a problem down there as well.
Okay. Okay, I'll run up to the bridge, jump in whatever.
Yeah, can you roll for me an intelligence, please, on how to get this ship started and manually undock this? And the rest of you can see this black is slowly creeping up the side of the dome and through the tunnel towards you.
Alright. Wismos, get down there and black hole everything. Everything. Go.
In unison, they all sort of like salute and they jump up and you see them disappear up a chute as they get sucked out of this thing. And if you look out like the window, you can see them running and sticking along the top of Argo with these emitters like running towards this docking bay. And they're just firing and you are seeing all of these little black holes pop up.
That's a 22.
22, you can manually... How are you doing this? How are you doing it? And how do you take off? Get Argo to take
Just basically, as long as the I don't care about little robots, to be fair. Just as swiftly as possible. I'm gonna guess they can hold up.
they're suckered on, if anything. It's not.
Did we pass through the dome to get inside? Did we have to pass through anything?
No, you were literally docked on the side of it.
Okay, that's cool. So if they're dealing with that, basically I'll just go through the usual manual checks as quickly as inhumanly possible, and just head in a straight line as far as swiftly away as possible.
As you do this, you hear a shatter as you manage to manually break away from this dome and the glass shatters. This Ichor just sort of starts creeping out around the side of the dome. Can you all make a perception check for me?
Dex
Sorry,
check.
just say it again.
Perception check, please.
Perception.
Ooh, that is not good. That's 5.
Luckily, you're better pilots.
Yeah, I'm looking at the void of space and not looking back and just going, go!
And what was yours? Sorry, Thorn.
Oh, I'm on my way to the engine, so
Okay.
I'm guessing I'm not going to see that.
Okay. So it's just Alara. As you look back and this takes off, you see 17-year-old Telemachus jump through a portal once more. This strange man, old man covered in this black ichor, grabs her and you can see her fall to her knees as it's almost like like she's searing, like the skin is burning, and she pulls out her gun and shoots this thing point blank in the head, and it drops to the floor, and she rolls on the floor, opening another portal, and rolls and disappears through it, and you all disappear off into space.
I don't know about you, Alara, but I'm thinking that Project E goes from creating the perfect vaccine to creating the perfect soldier or person to creating the perfect
monster.
I reckon they probably got so caught up thinking about what they could do.
They didn't think what it was going to.
Exactly.
Life finds a way. I love that we've just destroyed Craig with all these like quotes. These film quotes. And you guys drift back through space with Unit at the helm. You go on for hours. I feel like Unit maybe wouldn't stop. He's just getting you away. And you cast back at yourself into a voidfish field where you see all these huge, giant pink jellyfish type creatures drifting through space. The galaxies swirling amongst them. And how long does Thorn and Unit stay with them before? I think Telemachus has thought, you won't go back into cryo freeze. If anything, she'll plug you into the wall so that you're always there. She'll probably come and talk to you.
No, that's up. Yeah,
Sounds about right.
What would you do before you were plugged back into the wall?
as long as they need a pilot, I am more than happy to pilot. I will just say to Thorn, however, as we're plugged in, I get the feeling that no one actually got much rest there.
Well,
Almost seems like a waste.
I would say this was the opposite of a rest. Nothing but.
And you two can chuckle together, like in this like room where you're plugged in, so you can still work on maintenance and things like that.
Yeah, my plan is to make sure that the engine is running at peak performance.
And Telemachus will probably plug you into the engine room. Like she'll plug you down there, and Telemachus will probably come and see you guys daily, regularly, check on you, offer you food every now and then as she sees that you might kind of liked it.
I think I'm giving up on food experimentation.
Thorn will always decline the food.
And Telemachus will always bring a napkin for Unit every time. And
At least one of us is learning.
she heads back to Blister and Alara. Where is Blister and Alara?
Banging heads about all this, I imagine.
Each other has.
Probably, yeah.
Like, at this stage, I don't think flirting is an option anymore. Blister is just sitting around like, okay, so here's what we know. These are the things we know. We know that Telemachus' grandfather seems to have good intentions. We know that Project E becomes some sort of militant thing.
Yes.
We know that her grandfather is infected by some sort of black ichor curse plague. And that the three of those are potentially related. We don't know that, but we suspect that. We don't know for certain that I was in that spacesuit, right? Except that I was wearing one.
Correct.
It was just, you know, that Telemachus pointed at me.
Right. We also know that there's some sharing of genetics between myself and Telemachus.
Yes. I had an idea, but don't worry about that. Where exactly in time are we? Why do I feel like... Okay, look. Things that we know aside, my paranoia is telling me that someone is taking all of the us's from different timelines, or from looped timelines, and putting them into one to try and hunt me down for some reason, possibly for killing Telemachus, especially if you end up having some sort of maternal link to Telemachus, in which case, yeah, I could see very much why you'd want to kill me. Why I'd want to kill Telemachus, still don't have a motive on that one. But, what if...
Here's the thing. If she doesn't have memories of her parents, or specific memories of growing up as a child, even though she's only 7, I don't have those either. What if our Telemachus is another clone?
Do you remember your childhood?
I remember waking up here. It explained why we have the same genetic makeup, but I look the way I look, and she looks the way she looks.
Different species trying to...
Make the perfect creature. And let's face it, she's pretty darn perfect.
She's smart, I'll give her that. But I can't see the link between her and this Icker, and why I'd want to kill her unless I suspected that she becomes the Icker. That's literally the only thing I can think of that would make me think, perhaps Telemachus not such a good idea, is if she somehow becomes that black stuff.
Which we saw attack her. Well, I saw attack her before she disappeared.
Perhaps so she couldn't warn us?
As many of those soldiers of me floating out there as there might be, we're getting more things pointing towards her.
At first I was quite happy about the lack of things pointing to me, but the one thing that has pointed at me has unsettled me quite a bit.
Understandably so. Something's happened between jumps. Something's gone wrong between 17 and 25, 6.
Maybe even older. We're missing a great big chunk of time.
How are we going to figure it out?
I don't suppose any of us fought to steal one of those time things, did they?
No. But maybe we can see if we can figure out how to use these fish to our advantage.
At this point, Telemachus walks past. Where are you guys? Where are you having this conversation?
Yeah, we're probably somewhere near the bridge or something, I imagine.
Yeah.
She'll walk past.
Telemachus, I've had a real bright idea.
Yeah.
You know how you're always working on things?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could make a bracelet that walks through time?
Promise you won't get mad.
You already have, haven't you?
As she sort of looks like. Does it count as stealing?
No.
Absolutely not, you wonderful little person.
You borrowed it from your grandfather.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And she's like shifty eyes, like looking around. I just saw it in the lab. I didn't want to,
Alright, now, Telemachus, here's the real test, alright? You think you're smart. Can you rig that thing to the ship? So it'll carry all of us.
Well, I've kind of been looking at it. I think I may have altered it so it can carry more than one person.
You've only had it a couple of hours!
Look, Yeah, sorry. And she sort of looks down at it and says, it looks real similar to this thing I was working on as well. And she holds up a second thing, which is a really clunky looking version of this thing. So, see, my granddad told me about this time traveling thing once, so I've been trying to recreate it, and then I just found this one, so I nicked it.
See what you can pull together, kiddo, and we'll check in with you in a little bit.
Okay, and she just sort of walks off.
Well, she's bound to have that working in about 20 fucking minutes. So...
Because she started the prototype for it before she even knew what it was.
Uh-huh.
And that's where we'll leave this episode of Argo 37.
Alice! Jesus.
And I thought this one was a calmer episode.
My brain is dribbling from my ears.
Mind blown in a bad way.
Ah!
Yeah.
In a good way.
I had so many plans. I was like, I can get us back into the lab.
Oh, no. No.
No.
But yes, it seems as though Telemachus created those in the first place.
Before or after she knew her grandfather?
Why do I have a feeling we need a support group?
I think there is. Point at that. We have
Alice
one on
DM for
Discord
me support group.
now. We have one on Discord where you can talk about Argo 37 and all your stresses. Yeah, I'll start an Alice support group.
Man.
That was good. That was really, really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
Glad you did.
nice.
Yes.
No one shot anyone. I really expected someone just to be like, no, I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to shoot someone and take one.
I was so tempted.
When we were speaking to, especially when I found out he was John Greenway, I was so tempted to just shoot and run.
Yeah, that's the person you met in the very first episode, Blister. The one who tried to kill you.
Almost as if the DM knows what she's doing and has been planning it the whole time.
That's the problem. When you've got a planner, they plan this shit out of their goddamn law.
That is dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Oh, my lord.
And there's like, what, 2 episodes left?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really.
So, Scrat, I'll leave the rest of it up to you. If you want me to do this.
Yeah, let's go round. And today, let's hear people's theories, if they have any, favourite part, where we can find you online and who you are. We'll go the opposite way around, so we'll start with Craig.
Oh, great. Cheers. Thanks. Hello. So I have been Craig Hallam. I have been playing Unit Delta. I'm a mind blown author from the UK. Write books and stuff, make things up. So this is just great fun. I love playing D&D anyway. The fact that it's in space just makes it so much more insane. Love it. Love the whole thing. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, which is normally where I am. I get bored with other things, but Twitter keeps me pretty entertained. So it's just Craig Hallam 84. I'm pretty sure Scrat's shared it already. I'm on Facebook and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that was really, really fun, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, to say that I've not watched the other games, just like a tiny little bit, very quickly, I want to say I knew what was going on, but obviously that's wrong.
You've been fooled.
Yeah, but I got into it very, very quickly, and it's absolutely mind-bending. That was really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
At first I thought, oh my god, we're travelling through time. And then very quickly I was like, that's definitely not what's going on here. But I don't want to say my theories in case somebody hasn't already come up with it. You will have done already, but there you go. So I'm going to keep stum, and I might just send Alice and Scrat a message.
All the theories give
What have you done to me? Thank you so much, guys. That was really, really cool. Really, really fun.
Thank you for
and
coming along.
next person say something good.
No, thank you so much for coming along. It's been amazing to have you. Next around, we have Ed.
Yes, I was Thorn, and I'm more confused than anyone, I think, because I only see the first episode. My favorite part must be when you call it blonde, and then you really realize it was. What's her name? I can't even pronounce it.
Telemachus, everyone forgets the name of Telemachus.
Tammy. A theorist. I mean, I'm not a theorist. I'm a practitioner. But I'm guessing that Ilara might be a first attempt, and then maybe, and then she comes along, and the Tammy comes the prime one. Maybe.
Look at the DM's straight face. Look at that. That's the poker. I'm not giving anything away.
I don't really exist on Inknet. I do have a Twitter, but that's only because of Scatticus. This is his fault. Take full blame.
I'll take it. I've just had another boom theory.
Right? There's like 18 in my head right now. I don't even know which way's up.
The crafting.
Yeah. Look at here.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you guys do this every week. I'm sorry.
It's so much fun. No, it is fun, but
I get this reaction a lot from my players right now.
Yes, you are.
The campaign.
Huh. The theory is kind of running along the lines of that. Is that Alara was probably definitely a phased project, and then something to do with Telemachus is another project. But I'm also wondering if Project overtook Creator.
That's what I was thinking, like an AI, where they realize they're smarter than the.
Yeah, I'm wondering if something goes on with a different version of Telemachus that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this one.
Especially if one of the Telemachuses went back in time and found out that Blister tried to stop them by killing them, and then created an army of Alaras to. Yeah.
We're speaking the same language.
Yeah, it's decided. You lost me so.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, Lord.
Where can we find you, V? I've put your links in chat.
Well, once I find myself mentally, no, you can find me over on YouTube, the Crafting Muse. It is a channel devoted to show you how to make terrain, paint minis, and make scatter and all those lovely things for your tabletop game stuff that you have going on. I'm still like trying to process right now. I'm also on Twitter, and I am on Instagram, and I am on Facebook. So come over and find me. The Crafting Muse is usually your best search option. So yeah.
And before we come to me, Alice, you wonderful
Hi.
evil person.
Yeah, so I'm Alice, or White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. I love this game. I love seeing reactions like this on people's faces. Apparently I'm getting a little bit of a reputation for my other two campaigns as well. Another one which is in space. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I loved so much of this. I love Unit and Thorn unnerving this poor barman who's discussing over what drink they should have. And also Blister and Alara as they're trying to keep their cool through the whole thing. But yeah, other than that, like I said, White Rabbit Pick on Twitter when I am not scribbling down my ideas and my stories and then running campaigns and everything like that. I am a photographer. So yeah, check that out too. But other than that, yeah, thank you. I loved this game. This group was fun.
So that just leaves me. If you guys enjoyed this space game, go and check out Mage Hand Press. It's their Dark Matter Space 5e expansion. It's primo quality. The alpha was released just last week. You can now purchase it on their store. My mind is blown. All right, I'm thinking now through time loops, and that is something that my brain is attempting to do, struggling to do.
It's not working.
Yeah, my brain's trying it. It's having enough success that it thinks, oh, we can keep doing this. But that's sort of a paradox, and it's going to be a vicious circle that goes on forever. Right, social links. Go and check out my social links. I am on social things. Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube, go and catch up with the rest of the series. Try and figure out what's going on. If you've got a better theory, come over to the Discord, stick it in the Argo channel, and help us out. And if you want to come and play a game, send us a DM on Twitter, and I'll get you into one of our 40 games around Christmas time. We also have a Patreon. We have free stuff. We have exclusive stuff. Please check it out. It's it's all good stuff. And if you do enjoy the posts over there, please leave a like or something so that I know people are actually looking at it. Because I'm sort of trying to analyze what's working and what's not, and without them sort of metrics, take the engineer out of engineering.
No, you can't. Not possible. Nope.
The merch store as well. Over on Redbubble, you can get our logo on absolutely anything you like. Well, not absolutely anything you like. Yeah, they won't do a tattoo yet, but let me know and I'll give you the print. Merch store, it's over there. Also, Bird and the Storm Publishing is our other sponsor. They do t-shirts and mugs and hoodies and things. Proceeds go to charity, and they'll be creating content for us next season. I think it was about 3 months ago now they did their Midnight Wheels one-shot with us. It was fantastic. Can't wait for Module 2. Apparently they're working on something very big at the minute, which is holding up the progress on Module 2. But
it's worth it.
Apparently it's very, very worth it. So, we'll see. What else have we got? That's everything, right? Oh, music. The music today is taken from one of these two places. Go and check them out. Support them too, please. They're amazing. I should have been lining up someone to go and raid whilst I was talking about all that, but I haven't. I've been sitting here thinking through time paradoxes. Oh hey, Maggie's live. Let's go over to Maggie. Hopefully she's not just about to wrap up. That's usually what happens. Whenever I raid Maggie, she's usually just about wrapping up.
What's the battle cry?
What is the battle cry? I don't want to use the bet your bollocks to a barn dance one.
This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine is the war cry.
I just feel it's appropriate.
Yeah, it's good. It's perfect.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Guys, we are live Monday to Thursday, 1 p.m, 6 p.m, 10 p.m. EST. Fridays at 1 p.m. over on the Greyhawk channel. This Friday we'll be live over on Off the Table at 8 p.m. EST. It's going to be wild. It's the finale of the Adventures in the Wild Blue campaign. It's going to be emotional. There's also going to be 8 players and 1 DM, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah, have fun, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in a couple of hours when we go live with Honey Heist instead of Monster Hearts. We'll catch you later on.
See you later. Bye.
Keep smoking emotions.
Bye.